Oh, what up, y'all? Took me a minute. I wanted to get started a couple minutes early, but my mama was on the phone talking my head off. You know how it go when you're on your phone with your mama. Or at least, hopefully, some of y'all know. But man, if you still had the privilege of having your parents here, like talk to them. What the? I just, I just told this woman I was about to do something, and she literally just called me back, bruh. It's like this woman don't never like. I be like, Mom, don't call me right now. Like, just text. She be like, "Oh, okay. Oops, sorry." What the? I literally just told you. Like, I just told her literally like 2 minutes ago. All right, cool. Let me go anyway because I'm about to start the stream. Oh, okay. All right, then I'll talk to you later. All right, bet. I was like, what the? What, you just called me. Oh man, that lady funny. She is fucking hilarious. You better listen to mommy and catch a whooping. Nah, my mama, bruh, my mama ain't put her hands on me in God knows how long. At one point, they got to the point where, like, to be honest, it was like it wasn't working because it didn't really hurt, and I was gonna do whatever regardless. Matter the consequence, I was gonna do whatever. So that went out the window long time ago. Long time ago. But yeah, man, she had me dying laughing, talking my damn head off. Anyway, we know it's in a few days, so we gotta get the show started the right way. Wait, so I was looking at the line and everything, right? And I realized I'm like, hold up. It opened, according to DraftKings, Seahawks a 3.5 point favorite. The total was 46 and a half. The number has now climbed to 4.5 for Seattle. And the total has dropped a point as well to 45 and a half. So do with that information what you will. Um, looking like Vegas is going to they're talking about Drake ain't healthy. Hmm. Darnold had an oblique injury, so what we really talking about? There he is. It's crazy that he wearing the black wrestling hat because I put on the sweatshirt because I had been wearing like black hoodies and like sometimes I look like a floating head because my beard will blend it with the hoodie. But like earlier today, I ran to the store and I put this one on because I was like, I don't really need a hoodie because I don't really need something too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw this one on. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna throw this one. Ooh,
Mm-hmm. Thought I heard the echo. All right.
man, your
Hey
mic
guys.
is working really good.
Is it?
And I could hear you fumbling around with it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, yes,
Damn.
it's working
Amazon.
really.
It was cheap as hell.
Hey, bro, sometimes some of them be the best ones though.
Nah,
Sometimes
this
some of them
been.
be the best ones.
I've been using this one for about like a year, 2 years now, year, something like that.
Like this one here, these headsets that I got hooked up to the board and stuff now, I think I paid like it was either $20 or $30, something like that for 'em. Maybe it wasn't no more than 40. I know for sure.
I just
It
found out recently
was
that I could just hook my Beats up to the app to the iMac. I'm stupid. Don't mind me.
that. I thought you
I
been
swear I didn't. Anybody in the comments, kiss my ass. I literally just figured that out like maybe a week or two ago.
Mhm,
And I was like, because I got tired of you wearing those other heads, the wired ones. So I was like,
mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
ooh, slow.
yeah, it's crazy, man. Because like all you got to do is go through the Bluetooth. When you go through the Bluetooth settings, it's like boom, you're good.
Yeah, yeah, I'm slow. It's
Like,
okay.
bro, like earlier, my mom had called me and I was looking at something on the iPad. And like I forgot that I was watching something on the iPad and I forgot that the audio was coming through my AirPods. So when I answered the phone, I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, I forgot. I'm hooked up to the iPad still. Like, I'd be confused. But nah, that shit was funny though. Um, but nah, man, I was just talking about how the number kind of climbed on the Super Bowl. Like it opened up, Seahawks was favored by 3.5, and the
I ain't gonna
over
lie to
under
you,
was
bro.
46.5. And now the Seahawks are favored by 4.5, and the over under done dropped the whole point, like 45.5.
I ain't gonna lie. Today made me forget all about the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna lie. I really ain't thought about it all week, but today really like the way my phone was buzzing. I other than like the Eagles news I got about an hour or so ago, maybe two. Other than that, I totally forgot football. Like everything has just been basketball today, like crazy. So, um, I did watch some of the pressers yesterday. Um, I caught a little of that. I don't know. I'm trying to get excited for the Super Bowl because it's so unorthodox. It's not the Super. I don't know. I guess it's not the one we thought we were getting. Kind of like the NBA Finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we watched the finals, it was like, oh nah. From game one to game seven, it was exciting. So I know this one is going to be the same on Sunday. It's going to be exciting from first to fourth quarter. I 1000% know that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just you got to get there first, and then so
I'm looking forward to it because I like to see too like teams that can play good defense
mm,
and that have like a different like they
exciting
take a different
offenses.
approach. Yeah, they take a different approach to offense. Like they
Yeah.
can run the ball, but they can also throw it around the yard a little bit too. Like they have a balance that they can bring on offense. So I think it's gonna be a good game. Um, I'm actually predicting the Seahawks win. To be honest with you,
Mm. I got a
um,
Pats win.
I just feel like for whatever reason, I feel like I trust Seattle's defense against New England's offense more than I trust New England's defense against Seattle's offense.
Mm. I think it's a good matchup though, just because I think on paper it's more even than we realize. As
Hmm.
far as like you have one quarterback that is a little more experienced, but neither one of them have made it this far. Both of them usually are out in the first round. Um, you got two young teams, pretty much. I mean, they got the right amount of vets, the right vets, but for the most part, relatively young teams. Um, you got both quarterbacks are young, running backs are young, wide receivers, O line. Like I said, I pretty even teams in a sense. It's gonna come down to who wants it more. who outplays who outcoaches who. You got still a relatively new coach in Mike Vrabel. This is only what his second head coaching stint, because his Tennessee stint wasn't that long. Um, Mike McDonald, this is his first head coaching gig, and in his first year, he's in the Super Bowl. So he's showing Ravens fans why they all said that he should have been their next head coach. Um, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Oh
fun to
yeah.
watch. It surely is. Like I said, it's just getting through this week. Super Bowl week is always, unless it's your team, it's always kind of anyway. Um, so
I love it, man. I love it. I love the fact that especially with this one that we're getting a decent matchup of teams. It's not like, we're getting, you know, like one team is like even when you had the Patriots versus the Giants and the Patriots were undefeated, you saw that Giants team is like that team is a team of destiny because of the runs that they went on to get to both of those Super Bowls.
mhm.
So it still has some intrigue to it. But I think there's been very few times where I watch a Super Bowl and I'm just like, I have no reason to watch this. Like this is just terrible, blah blah. Like I can't recall a Super Bowl that I felt like that about. I think the last one was the Falcons and the Patriots. And I rooted for the Patriots just because I hated the Falcons that much. And that was enough for me to be like, damn, I don't like neither one of these teams. I wish it could end in a tie, but it's the Super Bowl, so you root for a team.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay,
Baltimore versus Giants. Yeah, that was all. That was a good one.
yeah, that was one. Like I think I loved it because I wanted to see those two defenses again. Like I like defensive football and stuff like that. So I'm gonna always look at stuff like that and think like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is great. So it's to me, it's a good matchup. Um, but again, like I said, I just feel a little bit more confident in Seattle's offense against New England's defense, as vice versa. Just because Darnold able to hit that deep ball to Rashid Shaheed like that when they made that trade, I was like that unlocked a whole new level of their offense because JSN was already
And
having a good season. Him and Darnold had already had chemistry. They had the two running backs. Like they had that offense clicking. And when they added Shaheed, it added that big play factor to that offense and to that special team. And that has totally separated them from the rest of the league, I would say, so far this year. Even though, they ended up with the same record as the Patriots, both teams were 14-3 in the regular season. I just feel like that kind of set them apart as far as like the dominant teams at the top of the league who I'm looking at down the stretch, like who can do something. And when it's getting down to the nitty gritty, and now that we're down to the Super Bowl, that's just how I feel, like how I see it.
nah, I agree. I definitely do. Like I said, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be locked in Sunday. I'm gonna have my wings. You know, little dip. You know, be kicked up watching. I mean, this year it's no stress this year. I get to watch and just watch, other than like being on edge like that. Actually, I went on edge last year because we had that in the bag from kickoff.
Like my fun thing about it is it's like also the prop bets, like the different prop bets that they have for you able to bet on, like the coin toss winner, how long
Yeah,
is the national anthem, the
yeah, I saw
color
all of
the
that.
the color of the Gatorade poured on the coach and different crazy stuff like that. I mean, there's different prop bets and stuff like that for you to bet on out there.
I'm more looking forward to draft coverage. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I watched the Senior Bowl. I've been looking at a lot of that stuff more than I normally do. I think this is gonna. I can't wait for till we get into that draft talk more after this week, or probably in like another 2 weeks, maybe. That's gonna be so fun and interesting because this draft is deeper than a lot of people realize. So we gotta have
Man,
fun with that.
fuck the draft. The Super Bowl is Sunday. Like we talking about the
I
Super
don't,
Bowl.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of with Dallas, bro. I'm a little more. I guess when your team isn't there, you don't care as much. I don't know. I don't know. It's still something about the
Hey,
Super Bowl that doesn't get me excited yet. Like I said, on Sunday, I know I'm gonna be excited because it's super like that day. I just think shut up. Um, I just think I don't know. It's that build up where it's just like, eh, yeah.
nah, man, fuck that. I'm excited about it because I love football. I just love the game. I love when I see a good matchup like this. Especially want to see those two running games, like how each team is going to try to attack the other team's defense and whatnot. Because you got the two-headed monster over there with the Patriots and Stevenson and Henderson, and then you got Kenneth Walker the third, and I mean Charbonnet is on IR
Charbonnet.
now, but
Hmm.
now Walker's going to have to really hold it down by himself.
He's probably
But
gonna get at least like 98%. I forgot who they got a back behind that, but
Holani, George
he's
Holani
pretty.
is the backup. But
He
here's
ain't
the
go.
thing.
He, I mean, he'll see the field for the most part, but not as much as Walker. So
I mean, he's in his second season. I think both of them with Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. But my thing is like, yeah, both of them with Seattle. But my thing is like he doesn't have the experience carrying the ball like the rest of them did. So it's like you got a guy that is not as experienced in the biggest game of the season and the biggest game of most of y'all's career, like having to step up to be that RB2 for your team now. So it's like that's one of the interesting storylines that I'm looking at. Like a lot of low key stuff like that, people not even thinking about or talking about. But that's one of
mm,
them for me.
I
Is
don't think that
that
factors
running
in.
back spot?
I don't know. I don't think that factors in as much because I mean, I understand it. I do, but I just think you've had weeks, and it's just like now it's like, all right, Charbonnet's out. Cool. Kenneth Walker's RB1. We need you to step up RB2. When you get the ball, do your thing. It's either I'm gonna step up in the big game or I'm not. So I don't think it's gonna play a factor though, because he like shit, Super Bowl, I'm about to get some clock. Yeah. So he in his head, he hype about that. So he like shit,
Yeah,
fumble. He been walking around with the ball like this like for
yeah.
all week, like just holding it, making sure he don't fumble. So
I mean that's cool and all, but it's like the famous Mike Tyson saying, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. So once you get out there and the lights are bright and you on that stage, like it is a little bit different. But that's why I say it's gonna be interesting to just keep an eye on that, how much Walker's gonna have to shoulder the load and how much do they trust Holani with. Also, do they use that opportunity to run some gadget plays like end arounds and direct handoffs and stuff like that to Shaheed and different things like that. So I'm just gonna be interested in seeing whatever they decide to do. Um, Let me see. Quan says they've been giving Walker more burns slowly before he went. Oh, yeah, they have been playing him more, but that's what I'm saying. They always play like that two running back system. Like, and McDonald's been doing a great job of calling the plays and stuff. Him and his OC and that whole offensive staff. Like just the way, if you pay attention also, um, to the play action stuff, um, you can tell like the creativity behind some of it, and I see a lot of this in like the Sean McVay coaching tree and the Shanahan coaching tree. Like a lot of the play action stuff looks exactly like the run, and that's why they end up getting you because that the runs and the play action and everything look exactly alike. So you looking at it and it's like, oh, this looks like that run play, and the linebackers and safety, everybody's reacting to it a certain way. As soon as they pull that ball back, that's how come they're able to hit you over the top. Um,
Yeah, Kubiak gonna get crazy. Like
oh,
he
for
gonna show
sure,
everybody why
for
he's been
sure,
one of the top candidates for head coaching.
for
Like
sure.
he's gonna go crazy.
And this is what I love is that chess match between those OCs and the defensive play callers, those DCs on the other side. Like this is what I love. Like this is why I say like a game like this I'm still excited about because I can't wait to see the chess matches that both teams put on.
Yeah.
See, get you. I just said the same thing. It's like a chess match. That's what I'm. That's what I love. I love seeing the chess match, the play calling, and everything. Like, man, I gotta call my homeboy and see what the fuck he gonna be doing. Cause I know me and this dude, like, bro, I wonder if he got any film that we could watch. I'm about to have to hit up my people because, like, this is the kind of shit that I'll nerd out over. Like, I'll sit there and watch film like all day, all night. Like, I was just talking to my homeboy. Uh, his son is a one of the trainers at a school, a big school,
Mhm.
prominent program, and he helps train a lot of the athletes and put them through workouts and different stuff like that, right? And bro, like there is a definite difference in certain levels that you go through
Mm.
that you think that you have to do in order to like be good and the time that you have to put in and everything. And it's insane the amount of work that actually goes behind the actual performance. That's why practice and studying and they're working out and everything is so important. Vrabel in DC versus Kubiak, Donald versus Jonathan Dank. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's definitely gonna be good. Because the thing is like you get that matchup when both teams have the ball. This isn't one of those matchups like we saw when the Colts played the Bears, and it was like the Colts offense against the Bears defense. That was like the main matchup there, right? Um, this is a matchup where you have both teams have a good defense and both teams have a good enough offense to where you're
Mm.
getting solid matchups on both sides of the ball. It's not like you're gonna see the Bears offense with sexy Rex Grossman against the Colts defense, which is basically if Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney don't get it done, pray that Bob Sanders does.
Basically.
That was their defense. That was their defense back then. And so it was like, like we had to watch Super Bowls like that. But thank God that we got one where we got the matchups on both sides of the ball. So I mean, you
Hawks
said you
by
got the Jets,
10.
right?
Hmm?
You said you got the Patriots.
I got Patriots by 7. Because I'm not gonna disrespect the Seahawks. They're playing amazing, amazing ball. I say by a field by touchdown. Um I just like the way the Seahawks been playing. I mean, damn. I like the way New England has been playing this season a lot
Mhm.
more. Of course, I'm rooting for the hometown with Moses
Oh
and
yeah,
with Travion.
yeah.
Um, but but I don't know. I just think, but also that New England offense is so weird. They're so weird just because like the run game has been great,
Mhm,
but and I love Hunter Henry at tight end.
mhm,
Stephon Diggs has been stepping up big time the last couple games.
mhm.
Butte has been lights out all season, or boot is it boot or Butte?
Butte.
Okay, I had to ask you because I know his last name is that
Bro,
Creole. I
wait.
wasn't sure if
You gotta
I
you
was
gotta
calling
watch.
him Boot all season, and then for some reason you
Yeah.
clicked in my head like somewhere around like week 5 or 6, and I started calling him Butte because I was like, hold on, nah, that's some New Orleans shit.
Dog, let me tell you, Mina Kimes shut down a whole segment because she said something about a Butte call or something like that when she was talking about it. And Swagoo and them, they just was cracking up on the set that they was at, because they out there or whatever. But yeah, man, I love that offense though. Like
It's
they
just it's
use this.
unorthodox. it's an unorthodox defense because I mean offense, and they've been winning all season with it. There's been games where I'm literally looking at it before the game, and I'm like, all right, they ain't got this one, and then they go out and go crazy because I'm looking at the defense they facing, or I'm looking at the offense on the other side, like the Bucks game. I thought the
Mhm.
Bucks were going to win, like completely. The Buffalo games, I thought Buffalo really had them.
Mhm.
Um, they pulled out some, for me, some wins that I didn't think they would get just because I didn't believe in that offense early on.
Mhm.
I knew they had the pieces, it just didn't think it was complete. But here we are in the season, they're in the Super Bowl, so it was something. And that defense has been playing great. So, like you said, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great matchup. It's gonna be interesting to see what the coaches pull out as far as the plays, and the play calling, the chess match, like you and Quan said. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be fun.
I think for me, um what I really see is uh I think the X factor matchup in this game is going to be New England's offensive line against Seattle's defensive line, their pass rush.
Yes, I was
That's
just
where I
going
think that's
to
where
say,
I think
yeah.
one of those X factor matchup is going to come in at. I think it's going to be New England's offensive line against that Seattle defensive line, specifically the pass rush and pass situation. The run situations as well, but mainly in the pass rush.
In those trenches. They, like you said,
Yes.
they O line versus their D line, because that New England O line is big, and that Seattle D line is quick and fast and strong. So it's definitely gonna be a battle of attrition. Coming down to that fourth quarter, who wins, who has more in them. Pause. That's pretty much what it's gonna come down to. It's gonna be amazing. Like I said, that's what I like. I like that battle. That battle in the trenches
Mhm.
is always, because, like I said, that Seattle run game has been crazy. That New England run game has been great all season. So it's really going to come down to, like I said earlier, who wants it more.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a thing where like I'm gonna put it to you like this here. I really feel like
Yeah, and Drake,
I
like you
really
said,
feel like
called
it's gonna
Drake
come down
May
to the last
extends
mistake.
the floor.
It's gonna
Yeah,
come down to the last mistake or the worst
or
mistake
the,
or something
or
like
the
that.
first mistake or any of that,
Mhm.
because that first one could be the last one. I've seen that in
Right.
games too. That very first one, it'll be a good. I'm gonna give you a great example. I always bring up what we do on the video game, but me and Quan, we'll have some amazing games back and forth, and it literally, he'll tell you, because I know he about to say it in the comments, bro. It'll come down to whoever throws that first interception is usually the last interception, but it comes down, like, it could be in the first quarter, second quarter, whatever. Whoever makes that first mistake, GG's. It's a wrap after that, because after that, that person is gonna take off. So I see this game being that exact same way. Whoever makes that first mistake is gonna, like, just take off after that. So
Bro, there's some I done got called again. Somebody else been called me now. It's like every so often this happens. But
you got to.
no, I can't wait for like just the game to kick off and everything. Like sometimes I don't like watching too much of the pre-shows and stuff. I
Yeah, I
may
haven't
watch,
watched a lot of that this week.
I may watch like a little bit of it that day or whatever.
It's gonna be so much going on Sunday. Like, the whole everything is Super Bowl and halftime, and it's gonna be between halftime and the game. So, which the halftime is gonna be great. We got Benito, Bad Bunny, which is gonna be a very interesting halftime show.
Hmm.
Lot of split discussions in regards to it. We talked about it on a pod the other day with me, Ahan, and Dre on the Shogun Shuffle. So it's it's a it's a toss up. Some people are really excited about it, and then some people, I don't even think it's 50-50. You got some people really excited. You got some people that are like, I don't really care for it. I'll probably find something
Mm-hmm.
else to do during halftime. And then you got those people that are just like, I'm not excited, but I'm gonna watch it to see what it does. Or and you also got those people that's just like, I know it's gonna be bad, so I want to see the train wreck in a sense because it's different. You got a predominantly like 99% Spanish speaking and performing artists doing the Super Bowl, even though where it is like predominantly Spanish. It's like the people at home more than the people in the stadium. So I'm mixed on it. I'm gonna watch. I'm a Bad Bunny fan, so I know what he does. It's just gonna be super interesting. So that nigga do
Yeah.
Spanglish.
So
Who gonna be the first one to make the mistake?
yeah,
Man,
that be the ones like I think that's
I
one
got
of the prop
$5
bets
on
that
New
they
England.
got too.
Who makes the first mistake?
Yeah, like the first turnover or whatever. That's one of the prop bets if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's gonna be as even though I have New England winning, I also got them being the first one to make a turnover.
I I would love it if there was no turnover.
I mean, of course, but
I would love
what?
like a defensive game. Like that would be like honestly,
But that would make it a defensive game if both defenses are causing turnovers.
it
So
would. It would,
it
but
would have to be on both sides.
there's also defensive games where there's no turnovers. It's just good fucking defense.
Yeah. What
And
if he bring out Booker T for the song? Hey, bro, I would die laughing. I swear to God. I promise y'all, I would be no good in the house, dog.
bro,
Like I really might.
that's like the only English in any of his songs is when he say Booker T. Everything else is
Yeah,
Spanish.
but I
Everything else
still, even though I don't know Spanish, I be singing them shits like I know them though. I know them. I know a couple of his songs word for word. I could not tell you what the fuck he's saying, but I literally can speak it because I don't listen to it enough. But I couldn't tell you a damn thing he say. I got to get on my chat.
Yeah.
I was about to say chat GPT. I got to get on my Duolingo.
Bro, this shit be so funny, man. Like I love when like uh I don't know if they got prop bets about the halftime show.
Probably. Let me check.
I think they used to. I think like the length of time or something like that. Or
Check
will
FanDuel.
something happen or
Who's coming in for New England when Drake May goes out injured? That's a good question. I don't think he's gonna get injured, but if he does, I don't even know who their backup is.
I know who they backup is. They
They
backup is you and Dre boy from the other season, Josh Dobbs.
really?
Yeah, that's his backup.
Ah. Well, he's been healthy all year finally, so they haven't had to use him. Ah.
Yeah, it's Josh Dobbs.
It's a good
And guess
backup.
who else? Guess who else they got on the roster? Their emergency quarterback, Tommy DeVito, the one that used to be the
Hmm.
backup for the
No,
Giants.
okay. So I did know DeVito. I did know DeVito was there. I just didn't know where he was on the depth chart. I
Yeah,
did know that
he's a
though.
third stringer. He's a third stringer on their depth chart. Nah, but I
Hmm.
would be happy for the Patriots because, like you said, you got
Super
family that play
Bowl.
for them. Um, the kids, their friend, her cousin plays for them. Um, so you know what I'm saying. I just want to see a good game, man. I just want to see a good game.
No, they don't got nothing about the halftime show. FanDuel squares, alternate spread, game prop squares, rushing.
Will he bring a guest? Like I thought that normally be like one of the props, Quan. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that'd be one of the props. With a halftime show have a guest or something like that.
I know he is. I forgot who they said it was.
Yeah, there's different. You have, but see, this is the thing. You have to look at a bunch of different books because some sports books will carry it, and some sports books may not.
Yeah, like
So
FanDuel. FanDuel doesn't have anything about.
yeah, that's one of the other things. Like you have to like look it up. Like you have to like literally go to Google and search like halftime Super Bowl halftime show prop bet, and then it'll
Let me
pull it up.
see.
But like you have to literally look for it. in order to find stuff like that because not every sports book is gonna have all the same prop bets because some of them will have different ones. So it'd be crazy. But anyway, I got the Seahawks. He's got the Patriots. I think we're gonna get a good game, and we're gonna have a good game to break down and talk about next week. But
Oh, for sure we are.
hold up, let me
Hmm.
put. Okay, here it goes. All right, because I'm going to the beginning of it. So I got the whole. Wait a minute, let me refresh it right quick because I got the whole the trade thread like pulled up. But I gotta
Are-
scroll down to the beginning to go to the beginning of it.
is that where we're going? Because that's what I've been
Yep,
waiting on.
yep.
Boy,
I had to
boy,
know. I
you
had to refresh it first because I was like, all right, we done talked about
look-
the Super Bowl, the prop bets, and everything else. Like, and when I went
listen,
to it, I had this pulled up from earlier, but I was
I
like,
got
oh,
it pulled up.
let me refresh it
Right.
because they had a couple of them
So
that popped up on my phone, like while we were on the phone. It's nothing major, but still,
I'm about to say I got mine starting at. Hold on, it actually moved. I guess
this
because some
one
new stuff happened.
started
I got
at
mine started from yesterday with Jaron Jackson with that
no,
one.
the one I got is goes from February 1st. We go back that far.
Okay, you
Uh,
going back that far? Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it went back to like the beginning. This one is the one from NBA.com. Because what I wanted to talk
Uh,
about was it started like the
what was the first
cat.
one?
It was
Oh, that small one. That small
yes
one with
it
Dennis
was
Schroeder in him.
yes it was
Okay,
that one.
okay.
So the Kings got DeAndre Hunter. The Bulls got Dario Saric and a couple of second rounders, and then Cleveland got Keon Ellis, Schroeder, and Emmanuel Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when like
Oh, that was when the Paul George suspension came out, like right at the
right
same time.
right
I'm
his
looking at it now.
suspension
I
came out
see it.
right. It was all of that. Then a couple days
Stupid
later,
nigga.
that's when we got exactly you putting shit in your body that you don't know. You need to check that stuff out and make sure clear everything and just be careful because he could have gotten an exception for it had he handled his business correctly.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, yeah.
it be like that sometimes. You play stupid games with stupid prizes. But then we had the
Mm.
huge trade between Utah and Memphis. Uh,
All right. So yeah, that one. That so. But finding out today that that first trade with DeAndre Hunter and all them,
mhm.
that was actually the first major piece for Cleveland to slide and move for everything that they did
Yep,
today.
yep.
So that was kind of like I thought back on it and I was like, and then I looked at other stuff because they had to move. It was a lot of moves that they made that are going to be they're going to be key for this summer also. Um, not just right now for this season, what they're trying to do to push to get to the finals or make a playoff push. Also beyond that with the James Harden contract, because then he'll become a free agent. He can go where he wants to finish out his career. Um, and also freeing up for possibly a King return for possibly the end of his career also. So it's a lot that's gonna a lot that went down today that's gonna be major for the summer also. So they
The
got
biggest thing about the Harden trade was that he
that
has
wasn't even my favorite trade today, to be honest.
it was a player option, I believe, for next year is what he has, if I'm not mistaken.
See, I didn't know that. Which is interesting because either
Yeah,
way,
I believe
it
it's a player option.
still makes it interesting for the King if he decides to come back home for that tour. Because I feel like Miami's not the spot to go. Because I don't like they're not even if he I'm sure he wants to win on his way out. Like hypothetically, if next season, if would be his last season, Cleveland is set up for that with their roster and what they have. Um to come, for him to come in and whatever. Also, on his way out, he ain't about to hit them niggas over the head for no crazy. At least I wouldn't think he would hit them over the head with no crazy money to do that. Like that nigga probably a sign for like $1. Because look at them hypothetically. It's just thinking off the top of my head. I'm sure he won't, but just saying like he signed for $1 and be like, let's finish out strong here in Cleveland and go out the right way type shit.
Here,
Um,
here's the
you right,
thing.
Quan. If he's smart, I'd sign for a fucking dollar. I know I would. I'd have made
Well,
hella
the
money.
thing
This
is,
shit
you
ain't
got
even.
the thing is, um, you could. I think the veteran minimum now, with over 7 or 9 years, is like 5 million or so, 3 million, 5 million, something
That's the
like
vet
that.
minimum now.
I think that, well, you
Damn.
have different levels. Like if you have so much accrued years of time or whatever,
I'm sure his is probably like about 5 or something
I
like that, which
think
is still
I want to say
super
it's
light.
something. I haven't looked at those numbers in forever. I know it
Yeah,
used to be like 1.5 at one point,
I'm about to say the last time
but
I
I
think
think
I
it's
looked
different
at it,
now.
it was around like 1.2. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
three Quan said
somewhere
like three
around
or five
there.
mil.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. It's
But I
somewhere
could see him
around there
taking
now.
I honestly could see him, like, let's say Harden decides to take that player option, right? I could see him coming in on a vet minimum on some like, I don't, I know y'all can't pay me what I would normally want, but this is the tour on the way out, and I want to do it how I came in Cleveland with that team that we're looking at right now, and you plug in a LeBron on that team in the East, ah, ah. But
Here's
again,
the
that
thing:
wasn't even my favorite trade today.
if Harden doesn't take that player option, they're under the cap. Well, they're
I
under
saw
both
that part.
aprons. They would be under both
Mm-hmm.
aprons, right? They would still be in negative cap space, but they would be under both aprons. So they would literally have to like he declined his player option. LeBron decides to sign there. Then they re-sign Harden after they sign LeBron as a free agent in order to make sure they could use their bird rights.
Yeah, he just said his
Win that.
Quan just said he would be 3.3 because it's 10-year experience. I just looked it up. Okay. Appreciate that.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember the exact number, but I knew it was somewhere between 3 and 5. I just couldn't remember the exact number, and it's over like 9 or 10, whatever it was. I knew it was something like that. But good looking out. But like stuff like that, you can always sign players to those vet minimum contracts, like to fill out your roster if you don't have your
Yeah.
roster. Um,
If you
so
don't, so
is that it's also the first and second apron, and also what you can offer players if you're over the cap as well. Like there's a bunch of different rules and stuff like that. I don't think they can bring in another max player because they're gonna they're gonna still be over the cap even if Harden declines that player option. They still 60 million over the cap if Harden declines that player option. So you can't really bring in. You have to be under the cap in order to sign a max player.
yeah.
So that's the thing. They'd still be like if the only thing that would save them, like I was saying before, is if he declines that option, they clear both aprons, but they're still over the cap. That's the only thing that would help them going forward.
Yeah, a lot of the moves that they did today were to make sure that they could get under. Well,
Hmm.
today and yesterday, like moving the first one, moving Schroeder. I mean, I moving DeAndre Hunter contract for those expiring contracts that they brought in. Moving Lonzo's contract, moving um yeah, getting acquiring Harden's,
Hmm.
like you said, which has that player option. Um so everything was just to make sure that the money, because a lot of moves, like we saw with Orlando, a lot of it was just that, just getting under the apron. A lot of moves
Yeah.
are, I think that Jaren Jackson one had a lot to do with that too. Other than just Memphis just at this point blowing the team up.
No,
Um,
I think they clearly blown it up. I don't think they was
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
around
yeah.
with
I
the cap.
don't,
I
because the
think they was
Jaren
like, fuck it.
Quan said something earlier that didn't I didn't think about till the Utah, what Utah did with Gobert and Mitchell. Gobert went first, then they traded Mitchell. Because I was like,
Hmm.
when we were talking earlier, I was like, well, why didn't they just trade Ja and keep Jaren and build around that? He was like, nah, it's just the same thing. You traded Jaren first, they got the first round picks for that. then they're gonna trade Ja. But with Ja, he's the bigger piece, kind of like what Mitchell was. And it's waiting to see what I'm gonna get for Ja as far as either a player or just the picks. So because I'm interested to see how they handle the Ja situation. Because on one hand, like I just said, you want to send him somewhere where you're getting good compensation back for him. You're getting viable compensation. But also because of how the relationship has been and it's a little sour, I don't want to send you anywhere nice. Of course, I kind of want to send you somewhere to like teach you a lesson, like a Portland, or it used to be a Utah, but right now clearly that's not it. Utah just in 2 days, Utah just turned their entire franchise around, in my opinion. With the draft, this past draft, then what they did in the off season, on top of what they did yesterday and today. So but I'm looking at a Portland now where that's like clearly the place you go to just be taught a lesson and die. It's
Well,
not
the
Washington anymore because I
funny
like
thing about them, the funny thing about them contracts is that Jaren Jackson actually has the bigger of the two contracts and is the more productive player.
he's been there longer though, so I would assume his was bigger. Because
Right.
Josh still on the rookie, or is
Mm.
he? Or did he
He
make it to
got
a
an
second?
extension, but what happened is because Jackson has like all pros and he has that defensive player of the year and stuff like that and more accrued time, he can command more of the cap on his max
Mm.
extension. Ja signed that extension and he didn't have enough time to get more of a max. So I want Ja is at right at
Because it would have
40
been the rookie. It would have been that rookie max. Because like I say,
and
he was still
Jackson
on
is
his
at
rookie deal.
50. Yeah, Jackson is right at around 50 and Ja is at like 40.
It's
So
crazy because all this is because of Mitchell and Gobert trade that Utah made. This was kind of their vision. I mean, it was. I like the rebuild because now they don't gotta move Mark and
well,
Lori. They
that was
don't
the thing.
gotta.
That's what I was
I
saying though. Like when they decided to keep him, they wanted to build around him. And I said this like about a year or so
I
or
love
whatever.
the makeup of this team now, bro. Like they just got Colin. You bring in Colin Sexton back. Um, who else was it? Like you get
John
Jaron
Morris,
Jackson.
Ace, Jaron Jackson.
Whatchamacallit is hurt right now. He's done for the season. But think about next season because all of this is for next. Like I said, just like with the Washington trade, I'm not even looking at nothing that Washington has done for this season. Of course, all of that is for next season. You don't even rush AD back. You let him get fully healthy. You don't rush Trey back. You let him get fully healthy. This is all for going into next season. In my opinion, Washington also turned their entire franchise around where you're looking at Washington a little different going into next season if everybody is, 100% healthy with the Alex Sarr, with the Keyshawn. I'm looking at Washington way different now going into next season, where it's like Washington positioned themselves to be potentially a top 5 team, like just like that. Utah the same. Utah in that tough ass West, they just position themselves to be a top team in like that can at least try to contend in that deep tough West for the next couple years with the trades that they just made. Because I'm sure they're gonna be. I mean, if you're able to keep Jaren Jackson, going forward as far because the money always has to make sense. But if they make it work and make sense, they like I said, in 2 days they just turn their entire franchise around. I see Portland sitting back watching this and figuring out how to do the same thing in a year or two, how to turn draft picks and assets and
Jackson
flip
under
all of that.
contract through the 28-29 season and
So you
has
at
a
least got him for 2 more.
yeah, he has a player option for the
So you
29-30.
potentially, depending on how he likes the way the franchise going,
So
you at
they
least
got
got
him
him.
for
You might got them for 3. I
three
mean,
more seasons
unless he
for
wants to
sure
test free,
guaranteed and then
unless he
the
wants
player
to
option.
test free agency.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. So either way, like they still turn their entire franchise around. The trade for
But
me. Oh, good.
no, but this is the thing with Utah. I saw that they were when I saw that they were serious about. I was like, okay, cool. They gave him the extension and they were doing, and I was like, okay, let me see what they do to try to actually build around him. And once I saw they started making moves, I was like, oh shit, okay. And I was like, okay, well maybe they are serious. But this trade deadline, especially that move right there,
I love it, man. We
I
got
was
Lauri
like,
Markkinen.
oh, they was for real.
Like
Like,
I'm looking at this roster right now. You got Lauri Markkinen, Ace
mhm,
Bailey, Keontae George, Walker Kessler. You
mhm,
still got a vet in Kevin Love, which that him and Nurkic, I love as the vets. You
mhm.
got Nurkic, Isaiah Collier. You got young Filipowski. I can never say this young man's name. He's Sil my whatever.
Which one
Mahala look. Mahaka look.
for the
Sorry.
Jazz?
Yes.
Hold on.
I forgot his name. I remember we drafted him. The Lakers drafted him, and I cannot remember, bro. I've never been able to say his name. Um, but Bryce Sensabaugh, Cody Williams, Jaren Jackson now, a couple other guys on the bench, but um, it's gonna be very, very interesting. What was the other moves they made? It was oh, I see the other trades you were talking about too. Hornets received 2 second-round picks from the Magic in this deal. The Orlando Magic are trading. Oh, Tyus Jones to the Charlotte Hornets for cash. Okay. So
Yeah,
but
that was the
the
last one that
Hornets just got. So the Hornets are just grabbing guards at this point because that's all I see.
it's really weird to me because I'm not sure what they're doing
Oh,
and why they're having
Jock Landale went to the Hawks, but
yeah, that
that's
that was
I
it was
like that
another
trade
double
too for
move.
them.
It was
That's
a double
a
move.
I like that because that's a young center for them. For the Hawks to get and they rebuild. Let me see what else happened. Utah's not going to keep Lonzo Ball. They're pretty much going to end up waiving him to allow him to become a free agent, which is going to be very interesting to see who picks up Lonzo Ball going down the stretch. I don't think he's gonna get picked up right away. He's gonna be one of those like right before the season ends, going into the playoffs pickup
Hmm.
for somebody. Um, the Kobe White trade was interesting for the Bulls to trade him to
You know
again
what I found
to
interesting about
Charlotte.
that Washington and Dallas trade, the AD trade,
Hmm.
was if you pair D'Lo with Trey Young in that backcourt.
Yes, they listen to it. Come on,
Wait, if you
come on.
start them two, right? D'Lo is a good pick and roll guard. Now imagine you playing that pick and roll with AD on the strong side, a- and you
Because
got
AD
Trey
gets to play
Young
what the four, which he been wanting to play. Because you got
exactly
Alex Sarr at the five.
at the
You
five,
see the fit? Come on,
and you
you
got
see what I
Trey
was saying?
Young working that weak side, coming off a back screen on that weak side. Like I'm bro, like I'm already like I'm looking at the playbook and I'm like,
I
ooh,
love
I
the
could do a
fact that
lot of
your
shit with this.
mind you you get what I'm saying because we were in the chat earlier and everybody was like Washington, and I was in the space with Loso and them, and everybody was like, "Ew, Washington." I'm like, y'all don't see it, bro. It of course everything is if healthy, of
Right, right,
course,
right, right.
but if healthy, that Washington team is in
Hmm.
that week. That East is not strong because we don't know what we're getting from Indiana next year because we got you got Halliburton coming back off of an injury. They're gonna have a great draft because they're gonna have low picks. So they're in the play for Dubansky and a couple other players that's coming out. So they're definitely
Yeah.
gonna have top 5, top 10 draft pick.
Hmm.
Um, so they're gonna make noise going into the next season. And like you said, you got a healthy
Hmm.
Halliburton coming back.
Yeah.
Boston made a crazy great move adding Vucevic, and Tatum may be back next season. He may shut it down completely, but either way, next season, now you have a Vucevic added with what they got. Boston is right back in the conversation. New York is still there. Philly, I love Philly. Like I really love. I think it's time to move on from Embiid. I personally like the Embiid for Giannis trade for a lot of reasons. That's
It
just me
ain't
though.
gonna happen. It ain't
It
gonna
probably
happen.
won't. It probably
Nobody,
won't, but
there is nobody in the league that's willing to take Embiid. Embiid will not be a
no,
hot trade prospect until he on the
he gonna
final
be
year
a
of that contract.
he's gonna be more of a free agent grab, in my opinion. I don't
He
think
will
he's gonna be a trade. I really think he's gonna be more. He
no.
might,
The only
but I
way I
think he's
see
gonna
him
be a
being
free agent
traded
grab.
is when that he's on the last year of that contract. That contract is about to expire as an expiring contract at the trade deadline.
Mm, I can see that
That is
too.
the only trade value I
Because when
see
they were
for
talking
him.
about Giannis and VJ, and I was like, bro, if they were
Hmm.
to trade VJ, and I, as much as Giannis is great, he's amazing, Hall of Famer, all of that, right? I like VJ more. I like that young with him and Maxi and the other young people. Oh my
Hmm.
God, Philly got something going forward. But again,
Oh.
speaking of Philly, that's not that the trade that I loved was Jared McCain to
Hmm.
OKC. Because one,
Yeah.
you got a lot of injuries over there in OKC.
Hmm.
Jared McCain right now gets to go over there and have fun because even SGA is hurt and gonna be out for a while. So McCain about to run that month, boy. And then once everybody comes back, because Jay Will is, I think Jay Will, they gotta, we were talking about last week, he gotta be reevaluated. But once he's back, once Ja back,
But listen,
and Jared McCain in the starting lineup with them,
the
because
cool
now
thing about it
you
is
can move Jay Will around a little bit now. You got Jay Will play the three. You got
the cool.
McCain play. You can have SGA play the two. Even though he's
Yep.
ball dominant,
Hmm.
he could be an amazing
There's
shooting
different.
guard.
It gives you
Jared McCain
flexibility in
could
your
be
lineup.
because Jared McCain could be a fire two guard also. He don't got to be the point. It's
Right.
so much that I love. It's always one trade that you're like, nah, that was the for me, that Jared McCain, I love there was a lot of trades that happened today that
Hmm.
I like, but that Jared McCain one stuck out the most to me because OKC was smart to understand that uh Philly has a log jam at guard.
Hmm.
And McCain being hurt at the beginning of the season hurt him in the lineup because once he came back, and I didn't say this on the pod, but I did to myself. I'm watching it and I'm like, when he comes back, where does he fit in? Like we were talking about last week, and when you were talking about on like in the different group chats with PG. I'm surprised. The only reason PG didn't get moved is that suspension because he was on his way out too. Because he's another one. Even though he was like you were saying, he was scoring. It was still we like the young boys a lot more. And it was still even when he came back, where was he gonna fit? Where was Embiid gonna fit? Embiid fit better because he's a big. But I also
Hmm.
like the way they play without Embiid, and I think they play so much better without him. He
And the,
actually slow, even though he runs great.
mhm.
Don't get me wrong, but he does slow it down just a bit. But Jared McCain was the one where I was just like OKC was super smart to
No,
it
but
wasn't
the
even a
thing was,
fleece. It was
yeah,
just
the thing
an
was though,
understanding of that log jam. Let me get him.
they didn't get rid of any young talent. They just got rid of draft picks to add to their depth.
Yeah.
That's the part that I love the most about that particular trade.
And I love it on both sides for both teams. Like
Hmm.
you said, OKC gets a guard while they are like hurting at that position right now. And it's another guard that can help take once SGA is back,
Hmm.
it helps take the load off of SGA where he ain't got to come in and damn near kill himself getting 35, 40 every night
Hmm.
to keep them afloat. Then
And
you got a
wait,
Jared McCain that can score 25, 30 his damn self. So
the other thing too is
and he
the first.
fits with the if anybody who I'm sorry, anybody who follows McCain since Duke and his socials and just who he is as a player, he fits in person.
Personality
He
wise,
fits
chemistry
in
wise, and everything.
so much
Exactly.
with
Exactly.
that OKC, that young OKC team. He's
Yes.
gonna gel with them day
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Day
Thank.
one. So
It's stuff like that that's underrated a lot of the times when people look at these deals and
I'm
whatnot.
super hip. I'm super hip.
It's a lot of stuff that's underrated. But the thing is the first round pick that they sent Philly is the Rockets' actual own first round pick for this year. So that's not
Mm-hmm.
going to be a high pick because the Rockets are going to make the playoffs.
Nah.
So you probably gonna get a pick, a first rounder in the 20s, and then I believe it was a hold on. Let me look at it. I think it was a 28 second rounder. No, no, it's just says three future seconds. So the first rounder that you got is in this draft, but it's gonna be in the 20s, and you got three future seconds, and you
Same
gave
with the
that
Jaren Jackson one. It was a three future first. So it wasn't even like this year's first or anything, which is great for
yeah.
Utah. They kept this year's first, but they gave up like probably, I didn't look at it exactly, but I'm sure it's probably going to be like 27, 28, and 29, maybe
I did,
something like
yeah.
that.
The protections and everything are. I haven't pulled that up yet. I just pulled up the
I
actual
just
just
saw
to
it
see
said
exactly.
future. So anytime it
Mhm.
say future, it's not this year. So that
Mhm.
means Utah gets to keep. But the only thing with the Jaren Jackson trade is now you're gonna be winning games. So that draft pick this year is gonna move a little bit. So it's not gonna be as high as it was. So you kind of take yourself out of that AJ Dubansky uh sweepstakes. Because him and the guard from Kansas are pretty much who everybody's looking at first,
Yeah,
and the
that's one,
boozer from
two.
Duke. So
Yeah, they're
and
1, 2, 3 pretty much like in
basically, so
every draft.
which is I forgot who. I think right now it's like Cleve. It's like Indiana, Portland, and somebody else that was at the bottom. But either way, but it's still a first. You still gonna have a first round pick to add to what you're building on right now. So, like I said, the deadline has been great. We still got until what is it, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, or is it
Um,
12?
I believe it's like 3 or 4 Eastern tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Hold up, give me 1 second. But yeah,
I
like
knew
there's
it was so funny because I said this morning, me and a little cousin was sitting around and I was saying to him, we were just talking about the trades from yesterday. And I was like, man, you think yesterday was crazy. I got this
oh
strange
okay, 3
feeling.
p.m. Eastern tomorrow. 3 p.m.
So it
tomorrow.
is three. Okay.
Yeah,
And I
3 p.m.
was telling him, I was like, you think yesterday was crazy? I was like, I just got this feeling today. Like, I was like, let me turn all of my notifications on. Because I was like, I don't know why. I feel like today is gonna go nuts. And I promise you, it might have been, I probably sat down and it was like maybe 10 minutes later, the first one dropped. And then it just
Mhm.
started ringing off after that. And I was just like,
Dog,
yo.
I
Once
got
that
up.
James Harden joint went down, I was like, and then like I said, after that, they were just ringing.
It was
DMs
crazy
were
'cause,
moving
like
after that.
I was moving around or whatever. I go to the store and stuff. I come home. I cook. I eat. I sit in my chair and I'm like, all right, let's watch some more of this trade stuff. I was scared to fall asleep and take a nap because I was like, I don't want to miss nothing. Like, bro, like it was that crazy. Like it was like, and I ended up dozing off, and I popped up, and I was like, "Whoa, wait, did I miss something?" I'm looking at my phone, looking at the TV and everything, and I'm like, it was that crazy of a day. Like as soon as I like opened my eyes, I like popped up instead of falling back asleep because I thought I was gonna miss something, you know. But yeah, it was just one of those days where normally you would get this tomorrow and some of this stuff would happen throughout
And
the
I
day.
think
Maybe
even
make a couple deals
tomorrow,
at the deadline, but this happened to the day before the deadline.
nigga, the
That's what's
two
crazy
days,
about
the
it.
last
Yeah.
48 hours for real. I mean, tomorrow I think it's still gonna be because it's still the Giannis watch right now, right? Because
Mm.
most of us are pretty much like if after I saw on Sports Center they were saying Giannis isn't forcing Milwaukee to do anything. Milwaukee's not inclined to do anything. It's more
No.
or less we're listening,
Mhm.
and if it's something that catches our ear and Giannis's ear that we all like and we feel like it's a good deal for him and for us, that we may move on it, but we're not inclined to do anything. And he may still be here after the deadline, but that also means he could walk this summer. That's
Well,
the risk that you're looking at also because it's like, do I or if he doesn't walk, because I believe he has a player option. I know you're about to look it up. Um, if he has a player option and he stays, what are we gonna do to bring in pieces to keep him here? Is the other part of it. So I'm sure his team and the front office have had these discussions over the last, couple years, or at least a year strong, and then up recently all of this season to figure out what they're doing as far as what they're going to do to build to keep him here, or what are they
Mhm.
going to do to move him if Milwaukee's not, the place, of course.
He's under
I think,
contract next season. He's under contract next season.
is
The
that a
player option
full?
isn't until the player option is until the season after that.
So technically, they don't have to move him until, is that
Next
two
year.
more? Oh,
No,
after
next
next
year.
season,
No,
they would
next
have to.
year
So
because he has the player
at the
option in
end of the
27,
season,
28.
okay,
Yeah.
at the end of the season, gotcha,
So
gotcha,
at the
gotcha. Okay,
trade deadline for 2027, then they would have to
so
move
we
him
could
because
be
they have
looking
to
at,
27,
if they
28.
don't move him, by 3 tomorrow, he's there for next season. But then next year, around
Is
this time,
definitely because he has the
we're
player
doing this
option
all
for
over
that
again.
final right. That's
I
why
probably would.
because if you think
I ain't gonna
about
lie.
it,
I'm trying to think. Now, after we seen everybody who made the moves and everything, Dallas still seems like a really good spot. But now I'm looking at what do they move, because they got off AD, which
they
helps.
they don't. I don't think they
I
have
don't
the
think they have
contract.
enough though.
They don't
I
have
don't
the.
think they
They
have
have
enough
the. They may have some draft capital, but I don't think they have enough contracts in order to like put
contracts
them in it.
and the draft capital to make the money
Right,
work.
make the money work. But here's the thing. So if you think about it, I think it was maybe like a few days ago,
I like
but
Golden State still.
there was one report that said, yeah, they can still work something. There was one report that said something about Milwaukee will look to move Giannis for sure by the deadline, if not by the deadline this offseason. It
I
was
saw that too.
something that came out like that that was worded
I
that
seen that
particular way.
today. I seen that today also.
Right.
The
So
same
that's
thing
what
that,
I'm saying. Like
and
you
I want to
gotta
say
look
it was somebody. I don't know if it was Shams, but somebody within what I said, that sentence was also made also where it was like, if nothing intrigues either side by 3 p.m. tomorrow, then they're going to work on something going into the offseason, or this offseason, probably early in the offseason, to move him
Mhm.
then. Um, but again, like I said, he wasn't forcing them to make a trade. They're not particularly inclined right now to make a trade.
Nope.
It's just, we're going to listen to the offers. And if it's something that grabs us, and us and Giannis are like, that's the move,
Right.
then we'll do it.
Then we'll move on.
And as of right
That
now, like I said, I don't
mhm.
see, the only teams I see that possibly have, like you said, the capital, and for it to make sense, is probably Golden State. If Dallas can figure something out, Dallas. Um, I'm gonna always say the Lakers, but I don't think there is anything. We would have to give up everybody on the damn team except for LeBron and Luca to make that work. Um,
Yeah.
and at that point, we're doing the AD trade all over again. Um, I'm trying to think who else in the West. No, really nobody else in the West right now. That would make sense at least. Houston doesn't have. Well, I guess y'all would have the cap, the players. I would
I
think
mean,
Houston would have the players.
Houston definitely has the players and everything. Like they have the whatever
It's
it
just a
takes
matter
to
of
get
what
them
they are. I mean,
right. No matter what they're willing to blow.
everybody's interested in it. I don't. Me and DJ was talking about this. I don't like the Miami one. I keep seeing the Miami talks, and also the Knicks talk. The Knicks one would have to be for Cat, in my opinion. But I don't like
Um,
Nick. I don't like him in New York with that team at all. For some reason, I just don't
I
like it.
mean, the thing is like
And I don't
with
like the Miami one either, because in my opinion, you're going from, unless you're just looking forward to next year and what they can potentially do as far as like bringing people in, because you're trading Hero. You're clearly going to trade Hero for Giannis. That's the move. I don't think you move Bam. I think you're moving Hero, unless you're moving Bam and you're partnering Hero with Giannis. Either way, I don't like Miami either. And I can't put my finger on exactly why, but it's something about that Miami move I don't like either. I don't really know what's the best place for Giannis because everything seems weird,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the part of it where it's like he's one of those players where it's just a weird trade.
Because
It's
the
like I
thing is,
understand,
Giannis
I
is at
get it.
54 million. Hero is at 31. Cat is at 53.
So Cat is and that's why Cat was the one that they were throwing into discussions because of
Because the
his.
thing
He's
is,
got the bigger number.
he got the bigger number, but also Milwaukee wants draft capital and stuff back, and
They
they
want
want
draft
like young
capital. They
players.
want either young players or
Right,
it was a like something that was like of equal or viable. Because a
right,
Cat Giannis makes sense because not just the money, but who Cat has become. He's
right.
in that discussion. You know what I
And
mean?
you
Like
also look at the positions that they play. Like if I'm looking for a stretch big,
he's a
you
stretch
know,
big.
he's a stretch big. Like that's a big that I can replace Giannis with because I know Cat is gonna get me at least 8, 9 rebounds a game.
I want us to make that move for Mitchell Robinson, but I know the Knicks aren't coming up off him. I've been
Oh hell
seeing those
no,
discussions for like 2
hell no.
months, but I want us to try to figure out how and what we need to give them to get Mitchell Robinson above them. But he's too key for when because Cat hurt or Cat's in and out of the lineup a lot. So Mitchell has been real key. So they're not going to do that, especially not with a third center that they
But
feel.
the biggest thing with Mitchell Robinson is though he's one of those bigs that can switch out and play defense on anybody.
Yeah, he can guard 1 through 5, and I love that
Exactly,
about him. And
and
that's why I want him
that's
because
why
I
he's so
love that about
valuable,
him. I love that
bro.
about him.
His like
I,
12,
I've been a
13
fan of
million
Mitchell
dollars.
Robinson for it's worth it. It's so
It's
worth it.
one of the best values in the league to me.
I'm a
First,
huge Mitchell Robinson fan. And I've been one for it very since he came in the league. Like he
he's been one
stretches
of
the
the better
floor, but
values in the league.
he really can go from up top to down low and really guard out in the perimeter, like in that corner, like everywhere
Mhm.
on the floor. He can really guard, and I love that. I understand why they wouldn't want to move him or move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless it's again something that makes total sense. Hell, y'all can have Jackson Hayes. He does that too. I just don't want him. You know what I mean? Like, but he does the same thing. So, um,
The thing is though, like there's guys that are athletic enough to step out there, and then there's guys that can actually do it. Jackson Hayes is athletic enough to step out there, but Mitchell Robinson can actually do it and make it look good.
exactly, exactly.
He may not be as athletic or be able to move, laterally as Jackson Hayes, but Jackson Hayes don't have that same level of commitment and dog in him that Mitchell Robinson has to say, like, I'm gonna be this
I'm
type
talking
of
about
defender.
dog,
Yeah.
dog.
And it's guys like that that I love watching play defense in the NBA because it's like I don't care if I'm 7 foot 250 and you like this 6'3", like, dynamo guard with all these moves and all these handles and shit. Like I'm about to lock you up. I'm about to lock your ass up because you're now my assignment. And I love bigs like that can switch out and that don't mind, taking on that assignment and being more than willing to say like, hey, I know that they may try to pick on me as a mismatch, but I'm about to show you like I'm not to be fucked with. Like I love guys like that. The same way, vice versa. I love those guards who get switched on to a big and who's like, nah, you're not about to just punk me. It ain't no mouse in this house. You know what I'm saying? So I love guys who get put in those mismatches and don't back down from that challenge. And Mitchell Robinson is definitely one of those guys.
Oh yeah, same thing about like with Triple J. Because like we said, that move. Let me tell you something. That it's a good move. That's a good move for Memphis and for now the next. Now we get to see what are they gonna do with Ja. If
That's
they're
the
gonna move
next.
Ja by 3.
That's the next
Ja,
move.
like I
That's
said, Ja and
definitely
Giannis are
coming.
the two that everybody's gonna be talking about up until 3 p.m. tomorrow. I think if Ja isn't moved by 3, he's definitely moved on draft day or going into draft day. He might be one of those draft day shockers that people talk about that happen like once every, because we don't get one every year, but it's
Mm.
like every other year, every couple years, something like that. I think him, maybe Giannis also, but they're going to be the ones that are going to be shocking then. Um,
And see, the thing
but I
is,
think,
Josh still has
but
two more
but
years
I was,
after this year,
yeah. So
so
whoever trades for him, they
they
can sit
got
on
him
him if they want to.
exactly.
But I really think Memphis is at that point of moving on from him because of everything that's been going on.
Hmm.
They don't have to, but I think there's a bit of a sour, that sour milk now. I like Ja to Memphis for Hero because they've been. Ja to Miami for Hero.
Hmm.
DJ didn't like it. DJ absolutely hated it from a basketball standpoint. But I understood why he hated it because you're taking Ja out of Memphis, and now you're gonna put him in Miami. That's
Well,
way worse.
my thing
Way
is
worse from
like
a social standpoint. Way worse from a basketball standpoint, though. I
I
like it
was
because you
honestly
send
from a
Hero
social
back home.
standpoint, I'm not even that scared about it.
I think
I'm
it's more
really
trouble in Miami than it is Memphis. Memphis is just more niggas. That's
Memphis
it. It's
is
just niggas.
is more.
Long as he don't cross that bridge in Miami, we keep his ass out of Opalaka. We keep him. Long as Rick Ross don't come pick that nigga up and take him across the bridge and shit,
Nah,
and
Ross gonna have that nigga in Georgia at the ranch. Ross ain't even gonna
nah,
have that nigga in Miami.
he gonna cross that bridge,
No,
brother.
if he
He
cross,
go. Let
no,
me tell you something about
he
Ja.
not gonna
Ja
cross
gonna
that
cross that
bridge.
bridge
Let me tell
by
you something.
himself or with others. He gonna
If
cross that bridge,
no, I'm talking
and I'm
about
scared
specifically
for
if
him.
Ross picking him up, they going to Star Island. That
Probably
exclusive
so.
island where all them houses. That's where they going. Ross not taking that nigga to Opalaka.
Bullshit. That nigga still be in the hood.
But
Don't let Ross feel
he
you.
would
Ross still be
he
outside.
not gonna
Him,
take
Trick
Ja.
Daddy.
He not gonna take Ja to Opalaka.
The one thing I do know, he be outside. He still be outside. Cross that bridge. You be surprised some of the like that you really would be like they still be in the hood
Oh
with
no, I
all the.
know.
I'm talking about all the jewelry, the
I
cars, and I'm like, but they so respected. Nobody would dare, even the little niggas would not dare, and they the craziest ones out of all of them. But none of them would dare try to get a stripe off of like
trust
him,
me.
Trick Daddy, or none of them.
I've seen celebrities that come back to the hood for 30
I'm about to
years.
say, yeah, where you from? Yeah,
I've seen it where I'm from.
they
I've
talk
seen
about
it
still being
here.
outside, and
I've seen
yeah,
it here.
Houston. The crazy thing is, Houston definitely is one of them where like a couple who I know that live there to tell you, you randomly are running into a lot of different people. My dog actually is on Sauce Walker's team. He said Sauce be outside with everything on. Sometimes
Bro,
by himself, no security, no like,
I
but he's
I know
respected in
somebody
Houston to the point that nobody, you
I
know what I
know
mean?
somebody
So
that has a business and like one of his places that he hangs out studio or something is like right by their business. He's always like right there. Like
yeah.
and it's
So
recognizable in the hood right off the freeway or whatever. Like and I'll tell you this other story off the air. This is not for on air consumption. This is for
of course.
when we getting paid to tell stories, then I'll tell some of these stories on air, on the record.
We need to get
Outside
paid
of
to.
that, outside of that, like it's stories that I'm not telling on the record on social medias or nothing. But um nah man, like it's crazy the kind of people that you see that still be outside. But no, the only reason why I was saying that is because like they don't wanna like they're kind of protective of that stuff. So they wouldn't want to like put him in a situation where they would want to like expose him to something that would like potentially get him to go off the rocker. But the thing
Exactly.
is, with DJ and other Heat fans that may not like that trade, they need to recognize is if you give that team a real point guard, because the only real like point guard they had was Terry Rozier.
Yep. Because I think
They traded for Davion Mitchell. No, yeah, they signed him or whatever as a free agent, Davion Mitchell.
I like him.
But Davion hasn't like been like he's not like a a top flight point guard in the league. He's a pretty good
Because Hero is more of
guy.
a two for real.
He exactly. He's a wing scoring. He's more of a scoring option type of guy. He's not a get the offense, set it up, and facilitate type of guy. He is
Yeah,
a
because
playmaker. He can be a
Ja
playmaker.
one of them. Ja grabbed the rebound
Right.
and he up the floor. He
He
gone.
up the floor with it. He'll set up the offense. He'll facilitate, get everybody
And that's what
involved.
Bam needs. That's what Bam needs too.
Right.
It'll
And
help
I
Bam
think
out so much.
right. And I think what people get confused, especially with a guy like a Tyler Hero and other players like that, they see because they're a wing player that's a playmaker and they want to say they can play point guard. There is a difference between being a playmaker and being a true point guard.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference there. And just because you can handle the ball and you can facilitate, make some pass, doesn't mean that you're a point guard. Because a real point guard gets everyone involved, sets up the offense, and creates the flow of the game and everything like that. Gets plays called, audibles, all of that kind of stuff. A playmaker is just somebody who can handle the ball, who can create shots for other people. That does not necessarily mean you can run the offense. So there's different shit that's involved in that, and I really wish people would recognize the difference and know the difference and stuff like that. That's why Cooper Flag had a hard time running point earlier this season when Jason Kidd was trying that. He's a playmaker, he's not a point guard. Now that you see him flourishing, he's back at more his natural wing position. He's not having to be on point and handle the ball and get the offense going and everything else. So he can be more of who he really is as a player and fulfill more of his real potential. But it's just little shit like that that like I be trying to hit people too, and I was like, no, like this is why I study this kind of stuff to show y'all. Like when certain people talk about stuff, they're like, no, I'm not trying to be devil's advocate or just be argumentative. Like, no, I'm trying to teach you something because I've learned it. I've taken the time to learn it so that way I could teach to other people. Like I had one guy one time, I'll never forget one time, man. I was in the barbershop and this guy was trying to challenge me and I just went off on him. And I just like I wasn't rude or nothing, but I just kept hitting him with facts after facts after facts. And like every time he tried something, I was tearing his argument up. And he was like, man, you just trying to be argumentative or you just being this, that, and the third. It was like, no. I was like, bro, literally, I was like, I learned all of this and I took the time to study all of this and I talked to people who do this and know this and blah blah blah. I was like, I'm just trying to hip you the game so that way you can start saying stuff and sounding and being more intelligent. I was like, because I'm doing you a favor. I was like, how would it be if I'm a professional and I didn't try to help you with whatever it is? I was like, that's just like if I'm a mechanic and you break down on the side of the road and I stop and I ask you what's going on, I'd be like, damn, that's fucked up, and I drove off. How would that look on me? I look bad. So me being a professional, if I have a service or a knowledge or something, I'm gonna pass it on to you. I'm trying to help you. Take my help. But if you don't want to take my help, okay, cool. Sound stupid. But if you want to sound stupid, I'm gonna make you sound real stupid. So it's up to you. Like you can listen or you can not listen. You can wisen up or you can sound stupid. It's up to you. If you like it, I love it. But nah, man, it's been fun though. Like just looking at all of this stuff and
Nah,
like you
today has been
I can't wait
exciting,
till tomorrow though.
brother. Tonight, tomorrow, we might get some at midnight. Like it might be 2,
Wait,
3 a.m. Something might come through.
what was that one? It was one that happened like recently, like within the last few years, where it was like a trade that
AD.
happened at like 1 in the morning or something.
It was AD. The AD and
Okay,
Luca one was like midnight. It was literally
that's okay.
nobody was doing. And I think the Laker game the Lakers weren't even playing that night because remember LeBron was out to dinner when he got
Oh
everything.
yeah,
It
so
has
it was like one. So it was like
it
one in
was
the
like
morning. So it was
it
something
was late
crazy
on
like
the
that.
it was late on the west, but it was like on the east. It was like one,
Wee
2,
hours of the morning. Yeah,
and we were all. I remember
it
I
was
was on
so
a
recently,
space.
bro.
I remember
Yeah.
I was on the space and we were talking something. I can't remember what. Might have just been
Oh,
one of them random. It was
it
one
was
of them
one of
random
them.
late
It was
night
one of
ones.
them random late night spaces. Because I
And when
remember
we
I
got it,
turned over and saw the alerts or whatever, and I started seeing stuff. And I think I hopped in that space that night, and we stayed in the space till like 3 in the morning talking about that trade. I remember that now. I do remember that because I was like, damn, it was one that happened at like 1 in the morning or something crazy. It was that one. It was that one. Because I'll never forget, bro. We stayed in the space, and it was a good amount of people in that space for like
it
2 hours.
was
And like 2, 3 in the morning, we were still talking
because
about that trade and other
once I
shit.
changed the title, it was random people that came in, and the conversations were great, of course.
Bro, that was one of the best spaces we ever had. I think that was one of the best ones. Cause like when once you change the title, I want to say that's when we ended up with like 20 something, 30 something people in a space at like 2, 3 in the morning talking about NBA trades and stuff in that particular trade. Like that was a wild space. I think that one and like some of the music ones for sure.
Oh yeah, the music ones, of
The
course.
music
Them
ones were like lit. The music ones were like crazy, but like that trade one was one of the that was like I think the best sports one. The music ones were great too. The music ones were great. Those were like the absolute best, regardless of the genre of topic. But yeah, man, we got a lot to look at still for tomorrow.
yes,
I think
sir.
the
I
two
would
biggest
say
pieces left are Ja and Giannis so far.
those are, unless it's like some other key pieces that people are gonna add, like to make their playoff pushes. Toronto might got a couple of people that somebody might want as far as
Mhm.
because Toronto's interesting to see what they're gonna do with that. Um, I think Kawhi is a name that people got to look for also, just because it seems like the Clippers might be blowing that up a little bit, just on some start over.
They and that's one
Because adding
that's
that's a
very
name that
interesting
nobody's really
to me.
talking about, but Kawhi to me is another Giannis, right? He's a weird piece, and it's not the money, it's not that. It's where does he fit on a team, in a sense, because you're looking at like like hypothetically a Boston who Tatum might not be coming back. I'm trying to think who else in the East, like a Cleveland that might want to make one more move.
Mhm,
Um, I've been seeing a lot of people say they're not done yet. Um,
mhm.
really, it's just them two, and like those
I
three in
think
the
I
East, like
think
the Knicks. The
yeah,
Knicks, I think, are going to do something, maybe whether it's
they
the
might.
bench or something with that, tweaking that starting lineup somewhere. Boston could add another piece or something, possibly. Like I say, I think Kawhi is a name to watch. Just because I think the Clippers are starting to think about blowing it up. Ja, Giannis, Houston maybe making a move, but I don't think Houston has to. You might feel a little different, but I don't think they're really inclined to make a move.
I think the
Um,
move that people were looking for them to make, like the Kobe White trade, once he got sent
was a
to
guard.
Charlotte, yeah,
And
it,
it
it
still could happen. It still could happen
here's the
somehow,
thing,
but
the move that they make may be in the buyout market.
it could be
So
also. Yeah,
that's
Alonzo
why,
Ball,
like somebody else,
a CP3.
yeah, somebody else was just we were just talking about or about to talk about that earlier in some chat I was in or whatever. But somebody had said that they was like, "Hey, look out for the buyout market," and I was like, "Yeah, you're right,"
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like
Because those
in
two point guards for sure they were talking about probably, well, not even probably are, more than likely are going to get bought out and be able to go wherever they want. Um, like you said, a CP3 that's at a point of like, this is the end in a sense. So where do I want to go to like, ride out? I could see San Antonio. That's the one. San Antonio was the other place for Giannis that I actually like the fit. That was actually the only team that I like the fit. It's just what is San Antonio giving up to get Giannis? And I started disliking it because I like what San Antonio has as far as their team. I love the makeup of their team. I love their bench. The young pieces with Castle and Harper, Wimby, Fox. I love San Antonio. But San Antonio is a great fit for Giannis. Also, it's just a matter of what is San Antonio going to have to give up to bring in a Giannis. That was the other team, and it just hit me just now. Um, but that was the other team that I really liked the most in the West. Minnesota's an interesting team too. Um, just not sure what they would have to give up also to grab him. They were a little movers and shakers too, getting moving Conley.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man, because like there's still moves left to be made. Um, but what I'm most interested in is just seeing like not only how teams move before this deadline, but also in that buyout market.
Mm-hmm.
Because the buyout market is those moves, like those little moves here and there, sometimes can give a team that little extra push that they need to make that run in the playoffs or whatever, or
I
to
think that's I think that's something we're gonna do too. Just because like we need to add more guards now. Um, with Luca having to handle a lot of it with Reeves being hurt. We already weren't really super guard heavy at the 1 and 2 anyway. So I'm looking at a CP3. I was Sequan. That's what I was making my way to. That's I think so too. CP3 been trying to be a Laker forever. So, but for him to be able to go there and come off the bench maybe and play with LeBron and play with Luca and help out that team, um, I think Wiggins is iffy, man. I don't know with Miami.
my
He's
thing
a
is
good piece for Miami to keep though. That's
right.
the
My
other
thing
part.
is with CP3 is do the Lakers really need a backup point guard?
Yes,
Okay, that might work then. Now another thing is,
yes.
do you think they need a backup point guard more, or do you think they need like a better big?
They need more bench. Not
No,
even a
I'm talking
big.
about a big. Like because
Nah,
my only thing is with like with Jackson Hayes
unless
and Aiton, like
because the only other big that's out there as far as like probably going to be on the market, and that's if Cleveland wants to move. I can't. Damn, I hate when I draw blanks. Move their center. Shit. Um, other than that, I'm trying to think who. Like I said, I love the Mitchell Robinson one, but I don't see the Knicks moving off him. Um,
it's gonna
Nobody
be.
else really has a log jam at center where they got a starting
Oh, you talking
center.
about Jared Allen for the Cavs?
Yeah, Jared
Oh,
Allen.
shit, Cleveland ain't getting
But
rid
I
of him.
also,
That's
but I
the
also
linchpin of
saw,
that fucking defense.
but I seen something today about him being moved for. It was a name, and I can't remember what the name was, and it made sense. I should have wrote it down earlier when I seen it because I know me.
But see, my
And
only thing is Mark Williams is the one that I was thinking too, because I would think that they would try to revisit that if anything. And the main reason why that's why I was asking Quan, because I was like, to me
Phoenix is
it
kind
seems
of,
like
yeah, I can see that.
they need better depth at that big position because they don't always get the defense and the rebounding that they need out of Hayes and eight. And
Nah,
so, like, if they had somebody to push one of those guys, like, they might do something at that position too. And I was like, I remember, oh gosh, it was Gabe Vincent, I think is who it was. I think he was
nobody wants
hurt
him now.
or something, but because he hasn't ever since he left Miami, it was like he has no
I've
juice.
been seeing that too. That Gabe
None.
Vincent, nobody's high on Dalton Connect anymore.
Right. That was the other
Um,
thing. That was the other
it was
one
a
I saw.
couple. I think what I was seeing today was it's going to be hard for the Lakers to make a move because nobody's interested in what they're willing to give up. Nobody wants anymore. Nobody wants Gabe Vincent anymore. Nobody's really looking at Dalton Connect. I would rather us keep Connect. He's a lockdown scorer
Mhm.
when he's on the floor. That three is so beautiful. And
But this is my thing with players like that.
What 2020 worked is
They
because you had
complain.
AD, McGee, and Howard. Yeah,
They complain because they're not getting any playing time. But it's like when you do get playing
Rui is the
time,
move.
you're
Rui
not
is the
you're not
piece to
consistent
move.
enough. And it's like
Yeah,
you have to play and be consistent in the time that you're given and called
because
upon.
we've had so many injuries that a lot of these players have had the time and they haven't used it. I think we got to figure out. So, all right, let me ask you something. And Quan, while you here, you can answer this too. Or who, anybody else that's in the chat that is watching. I watched Bronny in the G League, right? If Bronny dropped 50, 40, whatever in the G League, it looks amazing.
Hmm.
And I get it, level of competition, etc. And I'm sure that's what both of y'all are gonna say, right? Why don't I get a fraction of that? And we do, but when I say fraction, I'm talking about like a 15 to 20 point fraction of that when he's in the lineup. Because he gets the ball when he's in the lineup. When he's with the Lakers and he's getting the burn, but why don't we get that? Because I love what I'm seeing in the G League. I'm loving that. I'm like, damn, Bronny can really hoop for real, which we already knew.
Right.
But
But it's like two of the things that Quan said it does make sense. He don't have the green light and he only
true.
gets a few minutes. And like I've seen that before in certain players, and like I've seen that recently, like with the player that I know of in college. And like one night, coach gave him like 20 something, almost 30 minutes. Freshman leads the team in scoring. They win. Very next game, he literally plays like 10 minutes less. The very next game, he only has a few points and they lose by 12.
Uh Kai in the same way.
And
There's
I'm
been some
like,
nights where when he's in the starting lineup, he going stupid. And then them nights where they bring him off the bench, it's the same thing. Like he's so okay. Because
like,
I'm like,
like,
how the fuck
and
is this nigga dropping 50 in the G League going stupid?
this another thing too. Like when you
I
have
love watching him and Connect down there. They go
like
crazy when they down
like
there.
here's another thing too. Like when you have that green light and you're expected to score, 20, 30 a game, right? You're one thing on this level of competition. But when you're on another level of competition and you're at that top 1% of the 1%, and you're like the seventh option on the floor, and there's only five people on the floor, but you're the seventh option. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because, like, if you remember this from basketball, like when a coach, when a play is called or run or whatever, oftentimes you have like your first, second, third option, but then like when it circles, sometimes your third option is one of your first two options,
Yeah.
but it's on the backside or a different action off the same play. And then you may not get to another person to swing the ball back around for them to take a shot until you done kicked it around a little bit. And so it's like you're not always called upon to be on that action side, and you're not always called upon to be one of the people that's like, okay, shot clock dying, do something with the ball, or whatever. So
I don't know about Quincy Sean. I was about to say Sean Quan, but Tiro for sure. Tiro's one of those players like there's a couple of niggas on our bench that can go. They can either leave the team or go down to the G League they damn self and let Tiro get that clock. Tiro is something special, and I'm with you. I'm
but
hip,
I think
but
he's a piece for more for the future that they want to develop, but they feel
yeah,
like right now they have a chance to win, and they're like, do we give this guy playing time, and will he hurt our chance to win while we're trying to develop him? Players fall into that weird like purgatory sometimes where
I
they're good
love
enough,
Tiro.
they have enough potential, but it's like where do we find the playing time within the grand scheme of trying to win? And that's where guys like Bronny and Tiro and that's where they fall and connect because it's like we want to play y'all and we want to have a spot for y'all, but it's like we're
But we
also
want to
trying to
develop
win.
y'all for the future.
Right. And we got guys that can do what y'all do, but better now, as opposed to trying to develop y'all for the future. So it's like you
Mm,
you 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 fall into that weird little in between space, you know?
nah, I agree. Nah, I know it's weird, but if you're the Lakers, you do it where you at now because they already said the roster is built for playoffs more than regular season. Anyway, I agree. No, for sure,
Yeah, that's what
definitely.
I'm saying. Like there's times when like okay, perfect example. I remember back in the day when the 49ers had Steve Young and Joe Montana. And there were people that were calling for Steve Young to play, but Joe Montana was still good. It wasn't
Yeah,
time for Steve Young yet. Steve Young eventually got his time and he showed what he could do, but at that time it wasn't time for him yet. So it's
then
like
they
you
went
gotta
to the
wait.
Chiefs.
Right. It's the same thing like when the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre still had time left on the clock. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers' time yet. Then when Aaron Rodgers came in, he showed what he could do. And it was like, okay, cool. We just gonna move on to the next one. But it's like you sometimes you just gotta wait your turn. It sucks, but that's just the way of the world. And this is
No,
why a
that
guy
part I
like
know, Quan.
this is why a guy like a Kaminga is trying to get out of Golden State because he feels like he's ready for his breakout moment and he can't break through with Golden State.
The crazy thing is, this should be his time right now with the injuries and stuff. He should be going crazy because one, it makes his trade value go up. I mean, people know
Hmm.
what Kaminga does. I mean, that's a given. That's why That's why the Giannis thing makes sense because Kaminga is the vocal and key piece in that. Being moved. I would love Kaminga in LA. Nick, what?
But
Kaminga at the
but
four? Oh my
but this is
god!
here's the thing. Right now, while they still have LeBron, it's not really possible.
Now you
Kaminga
put
to the Lakers would be a
nah,
post LeBron piece, I would think, because where would he
Kaminga at the
get playing
four,
time at?
LeBron at the three.
Okay, who do you give Kaminga Ruiz minutes?
Yes, yes,
Look, so you take that 3-point shooter
yes.
off the that defender off the floor for Kaminga.
But I think when you say the 3 point, sure, I get you're losing that, but from the defensive side, Kaminga does exactly the same. Um, and now you putting Bron at the three, Reeves at the two, Luca at one, and then either Hayes or Aiden at more than likely Aiden probably at the five. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I think that's nasty in my opinion because now Braun is clear to just bulldoze at the three. I'm that
But wait, but here's
and
the
Rui
thing.
come like Quan just said. Rui
If
lead
you trying to
leading
if
them,
you trying to put if you trying to put
but we probably would
if
have
you
to give up Rui to get a Kaminga also. So there's that.
listen, if you trying to put Kaminga in that starting lineup, do you take out Reeves, Marcus Smart, or DeAndre Ayton?
As far
You're not taking out
as
Luca or LeBron.
Smart's on
So
the bench, Smart's coming off the bench. I'm sorry,
okay, so
Rui
you
and
take
Smart.
out
So my
because
lineup would be
Rui don't
Luca.
start.
It would be Luca Reeves. The starting lineup would be Luca Reeves, Braun, Kaminga, and then put in Aiden at the five. And that would shore up for me. That shores up. I don't know what we're giving up to get Kaminga.
I would have to look
Um,
at that contract because I want to say his contract. You'd have to give up Reeves in order to get Kaminga for those
it's either
contracts.
Reeves or Rui, I think, or we have to give up like
Is
a combination of like
is
Rui,
yeah, it's something like
Vanderbilt.
that. I can't remember what it was because I was playing
I
around
give
with it
you,
one day
I give
before
you, I give you
a
Rui,
long
Vandy,
time
and I
ago.
love Vandy. But like Quan said, I love Vandy just because playoff time. I could put Vandy anywhere on the floor. I could have Vandy guard anywhere with that. He could guard your if the point guard is strong. Vandy can go out to that top and guard him because of his length
Hmm.
and what he can do. So
Yeah,
I would hate to lose Vandy, but Kaminga can also give you that same thing.
right.
So
It's just interesting. I'll have to look at it again and
I
check
mean,
it out and see what
like
they
we
were
said,
thinking
that
about the game.
that 3 p.m. deadline tomorrow is going to be super interesting because he's a piece that could get moved. Like we were saying, look for the Clippers to possibly move Kawhi. They don't have to, but that there's going to be discussions.
There was
Um,
one rumor out there, and I can't even remember who put it out there, who said it, but there was something about Kawhi or something mentioned at the trade deadline. Um,
he's an interesting piece, like I said, like him and
yeah.
Giannis, because it's the fit. It's really
Mhm.
the fit for them and where they would go. Um, but I could see a Boston making another move. The Knicks making something to that, tweaking that starting lineup maybe to get them over the hump. Um, Houston, but like you said, Houston might be more of buyers in that buyout market more than in the trade.
Yeah, it's just I'm not sure what everybody's gonna do, but I just know one thing.
San Antonio may do something, but I don't really think they. I still don't think San Antonio needs to,
No, the only
unless you
thing that
just want to do some. I can see them bringing CP3 back on some vet shit for that
the
locker
only
room.
thing that
Maybe
I was rumored to hear San Antonio doing was trying to
they
see what they
loved
could
him.
do to get Giannis.
Yeah,
Because they was like it would be a dream to pair Giannis
yeah,
with.
Quan. I said Minnesota too. I think Minnesota's gonna move Gobert. I think Gobert is the piece that they move. It's
I
just
think that they may even make a smaller move just to bring in another guard.
that too.
I
Yeah,
think because I'm not saying that they won't move
and they could be
Gobert.
buyers. They could be buyers
Right.
also in the buyout market. Because,
Exactly.
like you said, a
'Cause
CP3, Lonzo,
right.
Lonzo's going to be a sexy piece for a lot of teams.
Yep.
Um,
It's
he's
it,
going to
and
be
it's
a very, very interesting piece for a lot
I
of
wouldn't
teams.
be surprised if we don't see anything major go down tomorrow. If everything big it did happen today, and then like we see smaller moves being made tomorrow, and at the buyout, like I could see something like that happening because there's teams that they just need here, there, this or that, and
Hmm.
they'll be okay. So that's why I'm saying like don't look for Minnesota to make a major move. They may make a smaller move, between now and when it's buyout time. So it just depends. I'm sitting here watching OKC and the Spurs again, and the Spurs up by 13 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter right now. Like they just have OKC's number, and I know OKC got injuries and whatnot, but the Spurs just have their number. I'm sorry, they figured them out. But yeah, man. So we're gonna keep an eye on all of that. Uh, if you stay tuned in to the Twitter account, we try to keep you updated.
Trying to
Um, because
trying to
I
get like Shams.
we try to like when I see the tweets, we'll quote tweet it, and put it out to make sure like we're giving y'all the info as fast as possible, and like we giving y'all our opinion on whatever it is.
Okay, see, all the players are out. Man, that's why I
No, that's
told you I
what I was
love that
saying.
Jared. That's
Because
what I love about
literally,
that Jared McCain trade, man. That
like
shit going.
when I just looked up,
And once they
they
come back,
told I can't remember who it was on the bench, but he got a wrap around his ribs right now.
brother,
Like they
everybody's
literally
hurt over
only
there.
have like they got their five. They have one, two, three.
But I like that
They
because,
only have three people sitting on the bench right now.
but you know, the good thing is it gives some of those guys on the bench who weren't, one, it slides the bench up because people that weren't playing are now getting clocked. Now you're getting more
Mhm.
minutes for some of those other players. So when everybody gets healthy going into that playoff push, you also know what you have from some of these other players, and you can go a little deeper in your bench now instead of it being you only going about you're only get going you're starting five and then six, seven, eight maybe. Now you might go 6 through 12, 6 through 10 because you saw what they could do in the regular season and you believe in them a little more. So sometimes injuries
Oh,
like this is actually good to figure out who and what you have.
because it forces your
Uh,
depth chart.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It forces your depth chart. I mean, like what
I
guys are
mean, yeah, that too,
capable of.
Quan. You got All Star coming up next week, so they really are, and they have a clear number one right now. Like no number two isn't even. You know what I mean? So they can afford to, if they were to lose a game or two here or there, like they still in great standing. So it's not a huge thing for them right now. Chet, as long as you still got Chet there, like I said, Jay will be back at some point, probably more going towards the end of the season, going into the playoffs. You got a Jared McCain now. So even if I'm not SGA is a little hurt, you got McCain to take that spot now. So SGA can get healthy going into the playoffs, into the second half of the season. So they're in a great position. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, that hurt. Overall, right now they're in a great position. So
Yeah, it's fun because just looking at a team like that who's got
Like,
all
why
the
is it
pieces,
that
it's good to
McCain is
see a
so
team
nasty?
like that, to have a team that's got all their pieces and
Why they
stuff
helping them get
in
better?
place. I love seeing a team like that, and I love seeing them develop and pull everything together because when you look at how they were put together and now that they're
That
putting it all
chemistry,
together and everything,
yes,
like
sir.
I
And you're
love seeing
bringing,
teams
like you
like that.
said, like we were talking about earlier. Now they're bringing in a player who is he's not gonna mess up that chemistry because he's just as goofy as them outside. Like anybody who watched that the starting point guard documentary, not starting point guard. The was it starting point guard? Whatever the Netflix doc was. Like, bro, as I watched like that SG, I mean that God damn, what's wrong with me tonight? Watching that OKC team, it's like a huge team of brothers. I'm talking about like the entire team from number one all the way to number 12, starting five. Thank you, Quan. I be bro, something wrong with me. Um, but watching that is like literally a band of brothers, and now you're bringing in a Jared McCain who is just as goofy, silly, young as they are, where he's gonna come in and gel day one with them, like instantly is gonna gel. That's nasty for this season. That's even nastier for next season because now you're giving us a whole off season to hang out, to become friends, to play together, to go like just hoop and talk and learn. Oh my god,
Yeah,
OKC might be my second favorite team now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm a Laker fan for life, but OKC really might be my number two. Like,
there's gonna be teams when you're really a fan of the game. There's gonna be teams that you just like to watch play ball, and
paint his nails.
that's
Paint
probably
his
one of
nails
those
is funny.
teams for you is just because you like to watch them play ball.
I do. I love it. I love the just how they play, man. It's fun to watch. It's very fun. I'm becoming more of a Spurs fan, and I've hated the Spurs my entire life. Probably because they play boring basketball, but that boring basketball is gone now with the young team that they have. They're up and down the floor. They're running. It's just exciting to watch. Um, I man, the NBA is in great hands because you as we're of that age where now we're watching the Braun. Braun is in what 2 years left. We both seen him come in. We both were at an age where we were able to understand. Me personally, playing against him at AAU in high school, and then now watching him, go through his entire 20 plus career, and he's going out. You got Steph who's coming at the end. KD is coming at the end. Harden, Westbrook. So now, like those classes are leaving, and we're looking at the new class now. The PG on his way out soon. You know what I mean? Like the league is in great hands going forward, and we got even younger players that are in college that are on their way up. Similar to what we were saying about the WNBA and how they're gonna grow, and what I mean, with the new players that are coming in with the WNBA. Same thing. So basketball is at a very great place right now, like all around.
Yeah, it's in a good spot, and I'm glad that
I'm
it's
loving
going
it.
in that direction. Um, the funny thing about it is though is that you're gonna get, you're gonna get ebbs and flows, and there's gonna be times where the game is gonna pick up, and there's gonna be times when the game may fall off. But one of the things that I love the most is that it's a 24/7, 365 nonstop progression because you're
Mm-hmm.
always gonna get something, whether people like the evolution of the way it's going or not, it's always going to be changing. And so sometimes you
Yeah.
just have to learn how to live with it like that, man. And thankfully, I'm not one of those people that grows older and bitter and like I wish things would go back to this. No, like just be
The
happy that
'90s,
the game
I
is
stopped
growing and
watching
evolving.
when Jordan left. I stopped watching because that's when basketball died. And
Bro,
yo,
that's with everything
I
though. That's with
I
everything.
hate I hate that super old guy in the barbershop that's about 70 something. He probably one of the barbers, but don't nobody go. Hell, don't nobody. He just been working there forever, and don't nobody actually go to him to get their hair cut except for super old guys. So he just in the barbershop every day to kill time. He don't need the money. He just there
Bro,
because
like
he like being there. But he will tell
I
you
can't
that when Wilt Chamberlain died, basketball died, or something like that. Like
Like I
I'll be
respect
laughing, but I'll be like, brother,
I respect all eras of sports, and I can
of
talk about all
course.
eras of sports because I literally do my research and I do my history and I'm prepared and everything. But at the same time, it's like the same appreciation I could have for the way, like, let's say the Boston Celtics, won in the 50s, 60s or whatever, in the same way I could appreciate for the way the Pittsburgh Steelers won in the 70s or the way the Lakers did it in the 80s. I can
Yep,
still
I'm the
appreciate
same.
the same thing from like the Warriors, like
I'm the
today, the
same.
Kansas City Chiefs or the fucking like the Dodgers or whatever, the Astros, whatever. Like I can appreciate the teams of today the same way
I'm
I
the
can
same.
appreciate the teams of yesterday.
I'm very much the same, and that's why whenever we have those goat conversations and arguments, which
Mhm.
is what they turn into, my top list is always different than everybody else's because I understand and respect the Bill Russells, and I don't think it has nothing to do with age. It's just
Mhm.
being a student of the game and just loving the game.
Mhm.
But I also am to a point now, and I've said this to Quan, where we do have to start changing that GOAT conversation because some of these guys are more pioneers now, and
Mhm.
they've transcended being GOATs. MJ is getting to that point where he's no longer, in my opinion, in that he's still. I think we're still at a point where he is in the GOAT conversation, or I ain't gonna say conversation. He is the GOAT, but he's also. We're probably about another 5 to 10 years,
Oh,
maybe.
we got breaking news. The Warriors are trading Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Atlanta Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis.
So that's a just moving him. That's a getting off that. I don't know what that is. Hold on, before I say
Here's the thing. They weren't he his with his inconsistent playing time. Adding a piece like Porzingis as a big, if Porzingis can give them some big depth, because he's a stretch big, that could help them.
I'm looking at
But
this more from Atlanta side now.
but here's
You
the
getting
thing:
a Kaminga to build around
they
or
also lose
start your
Golden
rebuild
State.
with.
Golden State is also losing the shooting of Buddy Hield as an extra shooter,
Yeah,
and you're giving Atlanta an extra shooter and
I
another
like
wing to
Atlanta's.
play
Atlanta has
alongside
a
of
nice
John.
young. And to be honest, I was about to
Think
say
about this:
Atlanta got a nice young core too.
you're putting those two pieces from Golden State alongside Jalen Johnson,
Mm,
and you still got that French kid that they drafted in the draft,
uh-huh. And Buddy
and
Hill can come in and take that
I want to say
he
they
could come
also
shit.
kept Tyson Daniels throughout all those trades and moves that they made too.
Buddy could come in and start like
Yeah, so you got to
so.
think about it. They both made a good deal for both
That's
sides
interesting.
because remember
And
Golden
we were just
State
talking about moving Kaminga. We
Golden
literally were
State
just talking
was
about
one of
that.
those teams that was looking at Anthony Davis. So you got to think about it. They went in one direction and they couldn't get it done, so they went in a different direction
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted
That's,
another somewhat athletic or stretch big to bring in.
let me see this.
And when you think
Atlanta.
about it, it's like fuck it. I mean, we lose Buddy Hield in his in his play, and we get rid of the headache of Kaminga, but we bringing in the type of stretch big, athletic big that we wanted to bring in.
You know what? I like this Atlanta team. Jalen
Mhm.
Johnson. We just moved Porzingis. Dyson Daniels. Zachary
Tyson
Razasher,
Daniels,
the
my bad.
Frenchman.
Yeah.
You got Okongu. You got Luke Kennard. Then you got Nikhil Alexander Walker, which him and SGA are like the same. They're cousins, of course. So they same damn player. Remember they got CJ McCollum
Mhm.
in the
I
trade.
know. This is what I was saying, bro. Like they
Asa
put stuff
Newell.
together there.
I might like this team a little bit. You got Corey Kispert. They just made the trade for Jock Landale also.
Hmm.
This Atlanta might be doing something. Plus, they got the draft picks that they got in the Trey Young deal. So this,
And I
that
think
That
Alexander
Atlanta
Walker.
rebuild, that Atlanta rebuild is quick.
I think Alexander Walker was either coming back from injury or
Listen, I'm
he
waiting for
just got
that
hurt or
Quan.
something like
That
that.
2K update in the morning gonna hit like crack, nigga. I'm trying to tell you, everybody on 2K like because everything that happened yesterday and today, Giannis to Atlanta actually could be a possibility more because as I'm looking at that roster, Atlanta has a lot of pieces and draft picks because bringing in Kaminga's not an off the bencher. Kaminga's what a power is he a power forward or a small forward?
He's like a wing player. He can play anywhere
He's just a
between like
forward.
yeah, the 2 and the 4 roughly.
So
It
you
just
got
depends on the
Dyson
lineup.
Daniels. So Jalen Johnson, Rasher, Dyson Daniels, Nikhil. Nikhil's a 2. He starts at the 2. CJ's a point. So somewhere in that is hmm because with Porzingis gone, that just means the Kongu is probably gonna get a lot of that thinner. Rasher is tall though. Rasher, for him to be a small forward, he's like a 6'10 small forward or something like that. So he's really just a forward. No, it works. It works. I'm just looking at the lineup and thinking, but that it
Mhm.
actually works.
When you
So,
when you really look at it and everything and balance
but
it
that
out, like
Giannis to Atlanta could that's a destination now too. That they got pieces to they may not
but
keep a Kaminga.
but
That's a piece to move.
also remember like that
Uh,
Giannis to Atlanta, I haven't really heard anything about it. This may change that, but the other thing is like
Giannis to Golden State is still a thing.
it could be, but I don't
Mm,
know.
that Kaminga trade might have just killed it because
I
now
don't
that's
think
probably the
no, I don't
one
think it
piece they
killed it
wanted.
because it was Jimmy and Draymond were the centerpieces for the Giannis to Golden State trade.
Ah,
And Kaminga was gonna be a part of it if it was Draymond to help match the salaries, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Draymond definitely was part of it, and that's why
I
that's why
it,
he's been coming out saying like
well,
I'm
because the thing
cool if
is
that's the move.
well, this is the thing because if Draymond does it, he may opt out of his player option for next year and then just re-sign with Golden State in the offseason.
Which is crazy. But
I
yeah.
like and
Woo, I told
plus
y'all
because
anything. It's 11:30 at
Jimmy's
night on the East
Jimmy's
Coast.
Jimmy's salary is like 47, 50 something like that, and Draymond's is like 20 something, almost 30. So they would have had to add more stuff to it, more salary to it with Draymond as opposed to with Jimmy. With Jimmy, I think it would be Jimmy and draft picks, maybe another player or two. But with Draymond, they would have to add more players and picks. That's why it could still happen. It's just the dynamics of the trade may look different. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff that yeah, they were trying to get rid of. They were trying to get Giannis without. They wanted to do the Draymond thing, but the thing that turned Golden State, I mean, the thing that turned Milwaukee off of it, because Milwaukee wants young players and or draft capital.
Yep. And they
And
really Jimmy hurt or not. Jimmy's a piece going forward.
here,
It ain't got
but
nothing to do with this season.
Jimmy would have came with some draft capital, but what kind of draft capital are you really getting out of Golden State? You know what I'm
And that's
saying?
why I said this Atlanta thing actually might be a little more. I've heard little rumblings of Atlanta, not a lot. I mean, you're gonna hear rumblings about damn near every team in the league when a Giannis is up for grabs. Damn near everybody's gonna figure out what we got that we can give them that's gonna make sense. Even a team on a rebuild is looking like, Giannis may not want to stay, but we might got something that Milwaukee want. You know what I mean? Like, so, but that's an interesting
Hey, the
one.
Warriors are making moves because they just traded Trace Jackson Davis to the Raptors for a second.
Are they
They're
freeing up?
they're
They
freeing
they
up space for
they
something.
they do. There's been a conversation
This is
that
what
we
I'm
don't know
saying,
about.
bro. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Also, I don't like Trace Jackson Davis, so there it is. To
He
the
all
Raptors
right.
for the second
He
round
he
pick
got he
to the
got
Lakers.
potential. He got potential. He just I don't know,
Oh yeah, they freeing up. They freeing. If they just made them two made moves back to back on back to back phone calls, something
bro.
else
This,
coming within the
this
next
is what
couple
I'm
hours.
saying. You have
Y'all
to
gonna be asleep. I might be up. Y'all who
follow the money.
listening. I'm trying to
Follow
tell
the
you.
money.
I've been around you enough now that I'm starting to pay attention. So I'm
Bruh,
paying
I,
listen, that
this is the funny thing about it is people be asking me
2K
how do
update
you
about to hit, boy.
they asked like, "Do you know somebody?" No, I just literally I've been a nerd about this shit since I was young. Like, bro, like I was the kid. Like y'all used to go to the Scholastic Book Fair and buy all these coloring books and shit. I used to go buy the fucking sports almanac and sports biographies and shit.
Me
That's what I
too.
used to buy with my
You
money.
want to know who? You want to know who else has been
Like,
starting to do that? There's a little boy in there named Jackson, but
oh, no shit.
he does it. Well, the first one he bought, he gave to me. He said, "Daddy, this is for you. I saw this and I thought about you."
Mm,
The girls do the same thing sometimes too, but he also be like starting to look through it and read it. So, but
yeah,
yeah, that man, look, this gonna. I told y'all up until 3 p.m. tomorrow is gonna get crazy because we were
yeah,
just talking about Kaminga being moved, and then look right before midnight, 11:30 on the east,
yeah.
Kaminga gets moved. And it's a great spot for him in Atlanta if that's where he's going to be at, if he's not going to get moved again. But I also think Atlanta's not done. Atlanta might have just put themselves in a better position for Giannis because we're getting to Kaminga. They actually have pieces that they can move now that might be interesting and draft picks because they got a lot of draft capital from the Trae Young deal, which so this is I love man, let me say these NFL trade deadline sometimes can get a little fun in the NFL one. This year with the NFL one
NFL
got a little fun.
just started. NFL trade deadline just started getting fun the last couple years. Last like
Yeah, because it
2 years.
used to be hella boring.
It, bro, it was like non-existent. But like
Yeah.
now, it's become more fun. But for the most part, before it was boring as fuck. Like the most exciting trade deadline by far was like Major League Baseball because they really
Baseball is
had at one
always.
point they had two because it was like the regular trade deadline, then it was the waiver wire trade deadline. Then when they got rid of the
Mm-hmm.
waiver wire trade deadline, like in 2019 or whatever, I was just the one trade deadline, July 31st. But it's still crazy. But then in NBA, it's always crazy too.
Yeah.
So I think now you're starting to see it get a little bit more heated up in the NBA because sometimes it was like you would anticipate stuff and then nothing crazy would happen.
And teams are positioning themselves for playoff pushes, the free up cap going into an off season because
Another
certain
thing
players are about to be available.
Another thing
So
too is with the cap growing sometimes and with certain bumps in the cap with TV deals and whatnot, you'll see certain teams positioning themselves starting a year or two out sometimes to have cap room for certain free agent classes or certain bumps in cap space
uh-huh.
and things like that too. So there's
Yep.
a lot that's at work in that play. And then you always got teams every year trying to get under either the first or second apron to save on luxury
Mm-hmm.
tax because they know they're really not going anywhere, or there's teams that are contenders that are willing to push themselves to the max to see what can we do to help try to win a ring. So there's always going to be different stuff at play at the trade deadline anyway. It's just
Yeah.
always interesting to watch and interesting to keep up with. But like I said, man, turn y'all notifications on, man, because like I think, oh no, my do not disturb schedule is good. I still got my do not disturb schedule on my phone for like late night for like a couple
Me
hours
too.
to at least get me like, okay, I know I got at least 3 hours worth of undisturbed phone messages and alerts and shit from trades and stuff like that. But like, nah, for sure. Like, I can't wait to see how all this shit gonna work out though. But yeah, man, episode 107, Susio Sports.
It's been a great one.
Appreciate
This might
y'all
be one of
rocking
the
out
best.
with us,
This might be one of the best ones ever because this was
man. Listen, it was crazy because like it was one of them where it worked out perfectly where NBA trade deadline talk this year lined up like
right on.
perfectly
Went
with a
right.
Super Bowl preview, but there wasn't really anything else to talk about because all the big UFC boxing shit happened last week.
Oh shit! We didn't even talk about the boxing from this past weekend.
Well,
Dang,
I
god
mean,
damn.
like we had that one boxing match, but like it was like the
Now that whole
UFC
card was that entire boxing card was crazy. I'm
that
talking
card was
about
crazy.
three new black champions. That's the biggest part I took from it.
Hmm.
Those three main fights, all three were new champions in their weight
Yeah,
classes. Black. It was
fact.
it was amazing.
My biggest takeaway from those
Oh
fights
yeah,
was
we Roman back, but wrestling's wrestling. I knew Roman was winning when Roman said what he said on ESPN, and I told all y'all this. When Roman said that, that was my pick to win the Rumble right then and there. So
Shit. Do I still have my our notes up from Gresham Unleashed? Because I want to say that was one of my picks, and
yeah,
yeah,
I didn't make a pick until
me and Gresh both picked Roman to win the Rumble.
when I saw that Friday when he was on ESPN, and then I'm hearing what he said. I was like, oh yeah, they Roman is telling y'all who's winning the Rumble. He's literally giving it to y'all, and y'all ain't even seeing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. So
Yeah,
it was a great weekend. It was actually a really great weekend. Just like you said, wrestling, boxing, then basketball. Then coming into this, then
bro.
football this week with
My only note
the
from the
build up
boxing
going
and
into
stuff
the
was shout out to Andreas Hale over at ESPN. He had wrote an article leading up to the fight saying how Shakur Stevenson needs to be mentioned in that upper echelon of the top fighters in the world or whatever, especially in that
I
middleweight whatever weight class or whatever, right?
because who
I,
he fought really was he was a
my
great
thing
fighter.
is, I've been saying this. You and I have been talking about this for a long time.
But he showed something way different Saturday than he
But
been showing in any fight.
this
He
is this
actually was showing more of an off. It was definitely a lot of counter, but
uh-huh.
he really was showing that he got hands also.
Like
If you really look at
this,
low, if you look at Teofimo at the end of
mhm,
that fight, he was fucked up. It
mhm.
wasn't like he was just Tio. I was sitting
But
that
wait,
muff.
this is the
So
thing though. Like I remember you said, Floyd and Bud and guys like that was influences on him or whatever, and some of
still,
Tank Davis and people like that. But to me, honestly, he reminds me a little bit of Floyd, but really he reminds me more of Pernell Whitaker.
yeah,
He reminds me more of Pernell Whitaker, like the way he's able to duck and dodge and really pepper you with that jab and
I'm
everything.
talking about that jab was like Quan just said. That muffin was popping, boy.
And bro,
That
it was like
that
he was snapping it off so effortlessly, and his footwork was so flawless. And like the thing was, the announcers even picked up on it because anytime I see a southpaw and an orthodox fighter fight each other, one thing I'm looking at is the footwork, especially those lead feet. Because a lot of the times, if you smart, you will
T.O.
step on that
footwork
lead
was
foot.
horrible, and he was doing that. He
Exactly,
was
you'll
doing
step
that.
on that
T.O.
foot
footwork because T.O.
and
dad
nail him
was. If
down and
you
like
listen
pow
to the
pow.
corner, if you were listening to the corner between rounds, T.O. dad was really like, "Nigga, what are you doing?
Bro, because
What are you
bro,
doing?"
like if you go back and I'll have to look and see. I think I still got the link for the fight or whatever to go back and watch it back. But if you go back and watch that fight back, Tio wasn't moving like he
He
normally
won't
like
being
he should move.
aggressive.
He wasn't aggressive and his
He
footwork was
normally is
trash.
aggressive.
And he wasn't moving side to side and circling in ways that was beneficial to his fighting style and everything. Like he just wasn't doing anything he was supposed to fucking do, and he kept doing the same things over and over and over. He was not listening to his corner, and he went into that fight like he didn't have a game plan. And the main
Yeah.
reason why is because Shakur is that much more fucking talented. This is
Oh
why
yeah.
all these years we've been saying this shit. This is why I feel like people
But I
really
said that's why niggas were ducking him anyway. I
yes,
love that.
yes.
That's why I told you when Conor
This
Ben
is
got
why
into
we were
that
talking
ring
about all
and
that
him
shit.
and Conor were going at it. I kind
Exactly.
of, as much as I love Shakur, I agree with Conor though because Conor's busy. It don't matter who he fight. He's a busy fighter. He's not
Mhm.
one of them like he's gonna get up on you like he's gonna let his hands fly.
Mhm.
And he's gonna really test that defense more than any. I don't think T.O. tested that defense in a sense. Like he kind of was trying, but at the same time, like a fight like that with Connor really is
Mhm.
gonna test the defense of
I
Shakur
put it to you like this,
because Connor's so busy.
but
I love it though. I love
Connor
it
Ben,
because
when
that's
you
gonna
told
get
me who he
crazy.
was, he kind of has remember the other fighter where old boy was like he's a Mexican but he don't fight like a Mexican.
Oh yeah,
Okay, Connor Ben
in the
fights like a
Keyshawn fight.
Mexican. Yes, Connor
Yeah,
Ben
yeah,
fights
yeah.
like a Mexican
He just
because
English. He don't fight like an
yeah,
Englishman at
he don't.
all.
He has more of
His
like
daddy was
constant
like that too,
more of the
though.
constant pressure and whatnot, and like I'm gonna keep
I
coming
think
after
Senior
you.
was the same way too, though. Senior kind of
Is
fought the same way.
I'm gonna keep moving forward no matter what, and I'm gonna just keep moving forward no matter what, and it's like I'm gonna work through it. And the thing is, when you fight a guy like a Shakur Stevenson, and you try to apply that pressure to him, he's gonna keep bobbing and weaving and moving around and sticking and moving
Hmm.
until he breaks you down. He's patient enough to keep playing that game with you.
Super patient, and that
He's
was the
patient enough
biggest
to keep
part.
playing that game with you. So, and this is why I say like he more or less reminds me of Pernell Whitaker more than like a young Floyd or a young Bud Crawford, because young Floyd had knockout power. Young Bud still has knockout power, but
Yeah,
young
but
Floyd had
I don't
knockout
even.
power.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think Bud done. A lot of stuff I've been listening to lately. I
I,
listened to
I
his
feel like
pivot.
that's a
He
ploy
waiting for the
too.
right. I think he's waiting. If the right fight comes, I think he's
Hmm.
done.
Hmm.
Because what he was saying on the pivot, I think he is done. He said he wants to travel. He wants to, be a dad,
Hmm.
pick kids up from school. He wants to do that. But I also think if the right fight comes along that makes sense, he's gonna. Now, the further he gets from that, where it's like, all right, I've been sitting for 2, 3 years, of course. Now it's like, all right, I'm done. But if something comes along in the next couple of months that makes sense, he's definitely, and Turk gonna throw that money at him. That it's gonna make sense. It's
Like, and
definitely gonna make
this is the
sense.
thing. Boxers typically won't take more than like, as I want to say, is more is somewhere around that year mark, close to 2 years. It's somewhere between a year and like 18 months, roughly. I think when you get closer to that two, like you were saying, that 2 year mark, close to like 2 years or so, that's when it becomes really difficult to come back, especially depending on your
Yeah.
age and in the weight class you decide to come back at.
Yep.
Like, so if I see him out,
Unless you've been
you know,
training, like you
eight
still keep your same training
constantly,
up.
right. If I see him out 8, 9, 10 months and I see him pop up and announce a fight, I won't blink an eye. But if I
Hmm.
see him out 2 years or so and then he announced a fight, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, Playboy. Like, this might be kind of difficult.
Like Tyson Fury sitting for as long as he did, and then coming out of retirement to take the Deontay fight was crazy.
Right.
Was
And
crazy.
like Quan said,
Also, Quan,
hear what we think about him saying he's a cheat. I'll put it to you like this: when Deontay Wilder came out and said that, my first reaction was,
I need to see the proof.
what took you 3 years to come up with this proof?
Unless somebody was keeping him quiet, I don't know, but I need to see it.
Like, if you had
I
this
just need
proof,
to see it.
what took you all this time to put this out there?
I
And a
mean,
lot of
some of
the
the
times,
stuff that he's already said, we already knew. We knew the ref saved him in the first one. We knew
right,
that. He really did win. So Deontay technically won the first one. The ref totally saved Fury. But even from that, cool, it was a draw. What happened in the last two fights? That's the part. That's what I want to know. What do you have that shows what happened in those two? In the first one, you're right. You totally had that one. That was you. But what happened in those last two? I just need to see whatever evidence you got. I'm interested to see it and if it's real and you know what I mean. So
I really think what it's gonna be is gonna be a lot of the same shit that we've
it's
already
going to be
heard.
in another fight. It
Like,
could be somewhere they done talked and said, you know how shit like that go behind the scenes. It could be something building up to another fight where it's
I
like, oh, if you think that, let's
I'll
fight
believe
again.
it. I'll believe it if I see Wilder come back and schedule another fight. If I
He
see
does have
Wilder
one. He has a fight coming up.
win.
This is he retired and then unretired. This is his second one from that.
No, 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 no. I
Um,
know he had what he like said he done it and he had a fight, but I'm saying like,
This one is in. I was just talking about this the other day. It's
cause listen,
Dazin posted it.
Fury just set up his fight. So if Wilder set up his fight
Uh,
and Wilder dropped
Wilder's
his
fight
documentary,
it's already scheduled. If I find it, I'll send it to you
yeah, let me
because I
know,
seen it.
because this is the thing. For them to get started talking
Yeah,
about
it's
it,
right here. He
they both
fighting April 4th. He
okay.
fighting
So
Chisora.
and when is Fury's fight scheduled for?
Fury is after that. I'll send you the press
Because I
conference.
know his fight just got announced like last week or whatever.
The crazy thing is he's going
Because
to, and I like
I remember
Chisora.
seeing
I
something
think
about it like
Chisora.
in the lead up to this past weekend's fight. No, this is what I'm saying though. What's gonna happen is Wilder has that fight in April. He's probably gonna drop that documentary sometime between now and that fight to help boost the ratings for that comeback fight. And then he's gonna use that comeback fight. They're probably gonna put him against some sort of tomato can that he should be able to beat in order to
Nah,
say he's gonna
Chisora might
call him
fuck
out.
him up.
No, listen though, listen. If they think he might lose that fight, he might wait to drop that documentary. But he's gonna use that fight that he got scheduled and that documentary to try to launch something into, especially if he wins, into another match. I don't think Fury gives him another fight though, because it's like, bro, I done beat
Okay,
your ass
April
so many
11th.
times
I'm about
already.
to say it's when I looked at that Dazin schedule, it's literally fights every like big fights every weekend from this
Hmm.
past weekend that just passed, going all the way into like June or July. Like they really have, and I know these
Hmm.
next 3 months between February, April, and like March, their
Hmm.
schedule is damn near every weekend. There's a big fight
Yeah,
already scheduled and lined up. Like
but the
that shit
thing
is,
is,
I love it because I love boxing and it's different weight classes. It's the women because Clarissa Shields got her joint coming up February 22nd, the rematch
yeah, I remember she had
with Cruz Dezern. That's gonna be crazy because she got a collision course with Price coming up. That's gonna go crazy.
here's the thing though.
I'm loving boxing right now. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie. I
my
need
thing
UFC to get
is
back up.
they setting up these fights and stuff, but I really don't think Fury gives Wilder another fight because I don't think that
No, no.
there's nothing to prove and there's no real money in that fight
So
for Fury.
the only way they circle back is if both of them fight AJ and they both beat AJ, then that fight makes sense again. But if
Or
that's the
or
only, or if one of them beat Juszczyk,
I was just getting
then
ready to
that.
say the only one
But
I
if
could see facing
or
Juszczyk.
if AJ beats Juszczyk, AJ is on a collision course for Juszczyk. If AJ beats Juszczyk, then he really has the pick of them two. At that point, if I'm AJ, I might also make them two fight again to see who fights me. If
I
I'm
wouldn't
AJ,
even.
I would.
I
I
would be
totally
like,
would. I
listen,
would totally make them two fight each other
I
and
would
I'll take the
fight.
winner
I would
and then
fight
pick the winner
Fury.
apart.
I would fight Fury again because he knocked my ass out and he already beat Wilder. And I would tell Wilder, you ain't got
Oh, if
if
I'm Usyk,
no, if I'm Usyk or if I'm AJ, it's
because
like
AJ and
nigga,
Fury
why
never
the
fought.
fuck would I
But
fight you
that's the fight
in
everybody wants to see is AJ
he's the
and
bigger
Fury.
money fight? Why would I fight
A-
you?
AJ so weird though because when he fights certain fighters, it's like he doesn't. We saw it with Dubois. Dubois totally like just murdered him. I think a fight with Wilder is the same because his footwork is the problem, but his power, that one punch power, and
Hmm.
that's what gives AJ problems. Um,
But the thing is, like, I want to see. I just want to see, like,
I want to see
really.
great heavyweight fights before we can't see them.
Yeah. And I think we've been getting as much as we could ask for with the
Hey,
current climate of the way boxing is.
let me tell you something. Turk came in, he saw a need. He saw that not Turk, that boxing was really about to be, if he hadn't come along, boxing really was about to be in shambles because there was no TV deals, there were no pay-per-view deals. HBO had pulled out, Showtime had pulled out. Dazn was starting to come in, or the Zone was coming in, but they
Hmm.
were still doing celebrity boxing and some of that other stuff.
Yep.
And then Turk came in, that he bought out Dazn or helped fund,
Once
however the business deal worked.
once they got serious,
Once they partnered together,
yes,
oh my God.
that's
And then he,
when
like I
that.
said, he saw that need of matchups not being made, that
Mhm.
these promoters were getting in the way of the money. And he started coming in like, look, listen, I got this bag, this bag. What's the problem now? And at that point, it was like, ain't no problem. You putting the money on the floor. Let's go. And now
Yeah.
we're getting the matchups. Nobody, because remember, what have I always been saying? Floyd, in my opinion, Floyd Mayweather fucked up boxing because now everybody wants to be like Floyd. And he didn't do it on purpose, but by him becoming the greatest of becoming a GOAT the way he did, now everybody wants to become that, but they don't want to fight the people to become that. They're
It's just
ducking.
like it's
So
just like
now
when we talked about it before. Hmm.
all that ducking out the window now. Now that money on the floor, what mean do you want that money for your leg for your future to set it up for your kids and all of this and that? Or are we looking at what your boxing legacy is at the same time? Are you fighting the greatest to get there, or are you just fighting whoever to get there?
It's like
So
I've been saying every time we bring every time we bring this up. It's like you can craft a career or you can carve a legacy.
man,
Crafting a career means you're gonna pick and choose who you fight, when you fight, and
yep.
everything else
And
in
I
order
think
to make
Floyd
sure
did
you're
both, but I
protecting your
think he
record.
more crafted a legacy than or
Career
career than a
Carving
legacy.
a legacy means you're gonna fight the top fighters, whoever's in front of you, no matter what,
And
no
there's a
matter what
couple
weight
people he
class. You're
didn't.
not gonna let that stand in. You're not gonna let different shit stand in the way of creating a fight.
Yeah.
So
So
it's like to
Turk
me.
is Turk came in and all that shit went out the window, bro.
but but
Like I
but
said,
but but the biggest thing I think his contribution was to boxing is not just what he set up, but also lighting the fire under everybody else in the business.
yeah,
To me,
man.
I think that contribution is just as big as the fights that he sets up
So I'm
because it's
interested
forcing
also in
people
this
to like, hey,
UFC
we need to
side.
get our shit together.
I'm interested in the UFC side also because he did that deal with TKO also with UFC. UFC
Well,
hasn't been
I
able to
thought that
break
was more or
into
less it was like to create that boxing league with him and Dana
was
White because him and Dana White
yeah,
were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. It was
But
like to create
also
that other
if
boxing
Dana
league.
but also it was for because Dana hasn't been able to break into like that
He hasn't been
India
able to do
Saudi area.
boxing like he's been able to do MMA. Like they've been
Well, he
able to
can't
do
even get MMA over there for real.
no, the only place over there that they've been able to do MMA was Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. Because
Mm.
they were running I want to say it was Dubai Fight Island in Dubai during the pandemic.
During the pandemic. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was
So
that was where but now with him
I
partnering
think
on
it
this
helps
boxing venture, that's
break
going to
in
help bridge
more.
the gap with the
Yeah.
Saudis and stuff to get in more places in the Middle East for MMA. So it's like, yeah, this is a partnership and this is a deal that we got to work out this one thing, but I'm gonna use this to grease the skids to bring some other
Of
business in.
course.
So
Of course.
it's I mean it's all money and it's money to be made and they just trying to figure out what's the best
Surely.
way to go about these avenues to open all this shit up. So, but I'm loving the way it's going. And the one thing about MMA that was different from boxing is that normally with MMA you get all the big fights that you want to see. The problem that I'm seeing now is that they're having a hard time making new stars.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
with boxing, it's the fact that it's like we got to create these matchups and these pay-per-views and stuff and keep the train get back on track to where the golden era where we used to be because we have all these great fighters to do that with.
And they have a lot of young stars. A
We just
lot. We
got to
just
figure out
seen
how to put them all together.
we seen
It,
three of them on Saturday with
right,
Keyshawn, Shakur, and with Shushu.
right. And they
So
weren't fighting like just any old throwaway tomato
no, no,
can
no.
type
None
fight.
of them were.
They were
None
fighting
of them were.
quality fighters,
Like
quality
these
fighters.
fights went, all of them went. What Keyshawn fight literally ended at the beginning of the 12th. Shushu's ended at the beginning of the
It
12th.
was what it was like. No, that one was like the eighth or the ninth, huh? Shushu's
Keyshawn's
ended
was
early.
was Shushu's earlier? It might have been.
I,
Oh no, no,
I
it might
just
have been.
remember. I just remember like he, old boy
I
was
know
like he said
Keyshawn.
that
He
was
knocked the old boy out like
yeah,
beginning of the 12th. I do know
yeah.
that.
It was a
But
later knock.
Keyshawn
That
fight
one
was
I think
going
was
the
a later
distance.
knockout. I think Shushu's may have ended like eighth or ninth or so. But anyway, like we saw these three guys beat three quality fighters, and they're
They
raising the
weren't
bar
no
in boxing. And it's like you got that in boxing. You just have to put together the
changing the
fight,
climate,
right?
changing
Whereas
the
with
climate.
MMA,
And
it's
there's
like
even new ones under them that's
right
like when the last time we seen O'Malley fight? I love O'Malley.
I love
He's one
O'Malley
of them.
too, but
He's
O'Malley, I
one of
want
them
to say he
ones.
lost his one of his last fights.
Let
And
me
then
look this
Patty
up.
Pimblett just
UFC.
got beat up by Justin Gaethje the other week, and Patty Pimblett was one of the guys that was up and coming. So it's
Also,
like
UFC has like way too many fights because they damn near be having like a card every weekend too. I'd be like,
sometimes they have two cards a
sheesh.
week because you'll get one on like Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, and then you may get one like during the week or like that Thursday, Friday or whatever.
There's a
Like
card this
it
weekend.
just depends. Yeah. So they have so many fighters to put out there and promote and whatnot. Like it's easy for them to
Yeah.
have that many cards. Um,
Let's see who's on this one. Who's on
but
the full card?
the
There it
biggest
is.
thing that I'm loving about it all is that they're actively working at they're keeping that same schedule and they're trying to introduce us to new stars. So because they could
Oh,
be
it's
like,
a
hey, you know what? We don't have the
small guy
stars and
card.
everything to put on these cards. Let's pull back and taper back our schedule. They didn't do that. So I give them props for still trying to push through and trying to make
Adesanya's coming
folks.
back in March. See, I haven't been. You know what's crazy? I haven't been up on UFC lately.
I've
I didn't know. Didn't know he
okay.
had a. Didn't know he had a fight coming
I
up.
didn't know he had a fight scheduled. My thing was I heard that
Ooh,
he may not be finished. That was like the last thing I heard was that he may not be finished.
he's still young too. He's not even that old.
I want to say he's like 33, 34, maybe.
Something like that. Like
He's
yeah,
he's in his like early 30s. I know
but
for
he's
sure.
fighting. He's fighting Piper. Middleweight bout March 28th. He's one of them. Hey, I'm a huge Stylebender fan. Like Adesanya is has always been like a huge. I've always been a huge
Oh
fan
no,
of
he's
him.
36. My bad, 36.
That's still a good age in UFC though,
Yeah.
because most guys fight into their like almost 50 in the UFC.
They fight
Um,
to their like late 30s, early 40s most of the time. So he's closer to the end, but I mean still he was so good for so long. I know he's had a rough run the last few fights, but like Adesanya at 70% is still better than a lot of fighters. So I just hope he doesn't come out and embarrass himself because I know that's one of the things with boxing, with combat sports, boxing, MMA,
yeah, when you're
pro
trying to
wrestling,
like,
and different stuff like that. Like when guys can no longer do it physically, sometimes they don't
I
always
think
do themselves favors.
Connor's last fight was like that, and then he just gracefully he got hurt, and then he was like, you know what? I think it's time I look at life after the UFC and focus on
And
that now.
Conor last 4 or 5 fights, he didn't look good,
Yeah,
and it
even
was
in
like,
wins, he didn't look good. So
yeah, I want to say he was like 1-4, or 1-3 in his last 4 fights or something like that. But like to me, it's like a fighter knows, like you know, when you're starting to lose certain things, when you can't do certain things that you used to do,
yeah,
and if you're an athlete and you're that in tune with your body and your skills and whatnot, you know what you can and can't do, and you know what you can push your body through and what you can't. And at some point, you have to stop fooling yourself and telling yourself, "Oh, I can still do it. I can still do it." There's got to be a time where you got to be real with yourself.
and that is the tough part about basketball and football that you see happen so much is that more in basketball where players are just like, the great thing about basketball now, there's so many other leagues and places you can go to still play. You got the big three. The one-on-one YouTube community is coming up, like where vets are starting to like get into it. It's a lot of different just avenues of basketball now
Oh
that
shit! Man, I didn't realize Carl Anthony Towns got busted open like that. I kept because I had on Sports Center and I was trying to see like what the fuck happened, and they finally started showing the highlights of that game again, and it was like at first I thought he flopped when I first saw it, and I never saw the rest of it, but I just saw now like yeah, what's his name? I think it was Cameron Johnson or whatever for the Nuggets. Like when he hit him in the face or whatever, he
mhm.
he, he cut him pretty good because he had blood all on his jersey and shit. But no, I really think that with these guys fighting and trying to come back, like you have to. Sometimes you just have to tell yourself, like okay, you know what? I can't fucking do it no more. And just
Yeah.
me personally, like I was hooping one day and like I think it was like just a standing, just jump up and dunk it with two hands. It was something like that that I couldn't do. And I was running down the court and I went to do something like dunk or something like that, and I couldn't really do it the way I wanted. And I was like, I'm done. I'm fuck this shit. I'm not playing no more. I'm not doing this shit. Fuck that.
I haven't had that moment yet, but also I
I was like,
haven't
nope, fuck that
hooped in
shit.
so long. Like
Bro, I stopped right there. I was like, nope, I ain't playing no
when I
more.
went to Florida last year, I told you, boy, I was outside going crazy.
Bro.
But also I can tell I'm probably at that point also where it's like every once in a while I might be able to give you a good up down, but I might not be done
Mhm.
that. I watch guys that are 40s into their 50s still hoop on Sundays. So it's like it gives me hope that I ain't gotta totally shut it down because the Y be jumping on Sunday mornings and them guys, it really be a lot of the early morning, 6, 7 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday. Like it really be the old heads in there like going up
I
down.
remember you had told me about it one time
And
before.
it really be some of them dudes that's like 45, 50,
Yeah,
55. Like
but it's like
it gives me hope that I can that I might be one of them. So,
I
but
put
that's
it
just once a week.
this.
That's just
I,
once a week.
I put it
So
to you like this: if I was to go out there right now, not having picked up a basketball in probably 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it's been, I could still go out there and look respectable. But it's like that's
but you
not
also have to realize
who I
at
was.
your but see that's where the problem is because at your age now and who you are now, you understand I'm not the young bull I was. So now I'm the post
Oh,
player. Now I'm point guard. I can bring the ball up. I'm the CP3. I might slow the game down a little
bro,
bit,
it's
but
not
I
even
can
that. It's like
facilitate
it was one
because that's how where
time.
I am. I understand. I'm not coming off vert no more. I'm not flying. I'm
Yeah,
not.
no,
But I
but
understand where I am in the game now, at my
bruh,
age and my skill set and my wind and net stuff. Like I'm still a knockdown shooter.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
no. You give me that ball and I'm gonna stroke it.
No, but let me tell you, this is the funny part though. Like, I'll never forget. I was coming down the court, right? And this dude was like, he was like on my left, like kind of behind me, but he was trying to like pick me up, like to stay with me, like on my hip, so that way I just didn't have a free lane. I stopped. I crossed left from the right, and he jumped in front of me. And when I went to go back right, I
Mm.
couldn't shake him. And then I tried to go back left, and he was still in. I was like, "Oh fuck this! I'm done. I, I'm done." Bro, it wasn't even always the dunking and this and that. When I knew I couldn't just and do that no more and get by somebody with that step, I was like, "Nah, I'm done." Because this first
Okay,
step is
so
gone. Once that
I
first step
will
is gone,
say,
I was like, "I'm out of here.
when the
I'm out of
high
here."
school, when them juniors and seniors get on the court, I get off. I will say that
Look,
because
look.
what I'm not doing is running with a bunch of high school kids because I
Mm-mm.
can't keep up. I know I can't. I know
No,
I can't. I'm not gonna try. Them little them. I was because I at one time I was them. I was
yeah,
the junior senior out there
yeah.
playing with the old heads. And once I got started getting called OG, that also pissed me off. It really did.
I
Unk
didn't
and
even
OG,
care about that. I didn't
I
even
did on the
because
basketball court. It pissed me off.
the
Like if
funny
you
thing
just call me that randomly, that's cool. But to call me that on the court, oh fuck no. All right, I'm out.
no, because the funny thing was like I would laugh when they would say that, but then at the same time it was like you're not gonna respect me until I make you respect me. So when I would play that respect into them, that's when it was like, oh, okay, we need to leave OG alone. Uncle really still ball. He still
OG,
got it.
OG on look, OG on my team next time.
Yeah,
I got it.
but once it was like I started losing like that first step, that vert and stuff like that. And I think what the other thing that really like told me like it's time to go when like I couldn't just use that fadeaway and just shoot over you like I wanted to. That was another thing that made I was like, nope, time to go. The fadeaway ain't
Mm.
working. Oh hell no! I'm out of here. I'm done. the first step, the vert, and the fadeaway. Once those left, I was like, nope, I'm done.
First
I
step
could.
ain't left me yet. I still got that.
Nah, that motherfucker left, dog. That
That
motherfucker
first
left.
step still there.
That motherfucker gone.
We was outside playing earlier on the court. That first step still there. I was because Shiloh cousin was 16 now. I can't bully him like I used to when he was a little
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah.
But I told him step out a little bit. I
Hmm.
straight to
Bro,
the
that
cup.
was the
So I'm,
other
I'm
thing.
still
Like,
good.
I still played a little bit of flag. The only reason why I kept playing a little bit of flag football and like softball a little bit longer
I had to
is
let flag go.
because
Softball, I'm still good, but flag
no
football, I had to let go.
flag. I would just play rush in. I, I can still play rush in. Like that's why I say
Mm-mm.
like I
Football,
gotta
I did have to
still
let
I
go.
still may have about 5-10 snaps left in me at rush in, but that's it. That's the only athleticism I have left.
If I play if I'm playing flag, if I play slot, I got you. But don't
Hmm.
put me on the outside. I can still do some slot,
Hey dog,
but you put
I've
me
been
on.
gave up.
Don't put me on the outside
I've been
unless
gave
I'm
up
the
the wide
decoy.
receiver days. I've been gave up
Yeah,
like look rush end, maybe red zone target. That's it. That's it. Outside of I can't do shit for you.
I can.
That's
I can. I'm great in the slot because I'm gonna hit you with that slant. I'm straight on the slant. But you put me on the outside and saying go, nah,
yeah.
nah. Them days is
Bruh,
over.
I'll never forget like one of the last times I was playing football. I had played with some of my coworkers, and of course, like I'm taller than all of them or whatever. But then, like I was still able to use my speed and run by a lot of them. And some of them, they play soccer and shit.
Now soccer, I can still play.
No, I ain't
I
even
can
try.
still do
I,
that.
they tried to get me to come out there one time, and I was like, bro, y'all want me to die?
But
Y'all
we play
really
on the
want me
short
to die?
field now. We don't play on like the
Oh no,
official
no, no, no! That was the
because
field that
VCU
they.
got
I
the
was no
indoor
the
shorter
indoor
field.
shit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I
Oh
still
yeah,
couldn't do it. I still couldn't do it
so much more fun. Oh my god.
because I was like, look, if I can't do basketball the way I want to, I know I'm not gonna be able to do soccer the way I want to, so I can't do it. But I'll never
No,
forget one
you
of the
won't. No,
last
you
times
won't,
I
call.
played football.
No, you won't.
It was in the cold, and I had got warmed up. I didn't feel it until after I had cooled off, went home, took a shower, and chilled for a second. And when I could barely walk up the stairs, I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this shit. Done,
Oh,
done,
I'm like that too. Don't. Oh, you know how many times I done got fussed at coming in the house because I'm coming in the house like
bro."
you
And
know with
even
that little limp, and I'll be like,
like, even if
I'm sitting in the
even
car for like 30 minutes. Once
bro,
I get in the car, before I pull off to leave the gym, I'm sitting there like, this was a fucking mistake. Like,
bro,
why the fuck did I do this?
it's the recovery a lot of the times that be it. Like with basketball and some of the stuff with football and stuff, like
I
it was
tell
like
anybody, bro,
the
I'll go get
athleticism in
drunk.
certain things. Like I couldn't do it anymore, so I just didn't want to play. Like when I
I
realized,
did.
like I think with softball, what did it for me was like I knew this guy the way he was pitching, and so I knew I needed to hit a certain way, but I couldn't turn on those pitches the way I used to. I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm done with softball too.
Let me tell you something.
Like,
I would much rather get drunk on a Saturday night and deal with that recovery than going to hoop on a Sunday sometimes. Cause that Sunday, I'm gonna feel that bitch till the next Sunday for real, for real. We
bro, it
we're getting drunk. I can go out and get hammered on a Saturday night. I probably feel it till about maybe Tuesday. But I'd rather that than a full week of just body recovery because I went to go hoop on a Sunday. Nah, that's when
hey,
I started paying attention and realizing like
he lucky I retired
I'm
because
not
I'm
paying Quan
telling
no
you,
mind.
I would jam your little ass up and you wouldn't be able to do shit about it.
Hey, brother.
Trust me. I would jam your little ass up and it wasn't nothing it ain't shit you gonna be able to do about it.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Quan ain't small. I will say that. He ain't as tall as you, but he ain't small. Quan's more one of the bigger.
Dog. It was like
But I
once
know
if I once that extension and them hands inside is it ain't you ain't going nowhere. Are you going wherever I tell you to go? You going wherever I tell you to go. And I
hey,
learned
brother.
that and listen, the funniest thing about it was when I used to talk about it with my homeboy, and I'd be like, "Hey, bro," and we used to talk about like hand placement, like different little idiosyncrasies of playing different positions and stuff. And he played corner,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Hey, what happens when you?" Like I said, some of your hand motions, like when you're trying to jam a receiver, is similar to when you're trying to put a block on somebody too. Like if you're offensive lineman, da 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 da, right? And we went to dog. We literally like got to breaking down like hand placement and like all kind of shit. Like it was seriously nerd talk. Like
Oh no, I believe it, bro.
that's how
That's
deep into it we got. And it was like certain little motions and stuff, certain little things like that is a lot similar. Like when you're trying to jam a receiver on the line of scrimmage, it's same thing like when you're trying to get that punch in, when you're trying to get that block in as an
let
offensive
me tell
line.
you something. When they had Jackson playing on the line, I hated it because I can't. I want no big dude playing no D line or no O line. So I really couldn't help him. I had to get on YouTube and be like, okay, hand placement, this, that,
Mhm,
to kind of know
mhm.
him. But when they moved him back to safety, I was like, oh, I know this. I know I can teach you this. I got you. Even when they had him playing a little corner and stuff, I'm like, all right, I can show
Mhm.
you this. I can show you how to jam somebody at the line and how to like impede their movement and have them, even without touching them, how to like shift them to them going somewhere else. So, um,
Yeah, that is a small
some makes
trade. The
happen.
Knicks and the Bulls
I'm on
making a
Sham. I,
trade.
look, I'm
But
refreshing Sham.
this
Like,
is
oh yeah,
but this is the thing with
the Knicks
trades
are
like
trading
that.
Yabusal to the Bulls for Dalen Terry. Okay,
It's
yeah, it's small.
typically like a small salary move either to
You're
get
muted.
under one of the aprons or to set yourself up for the off season. As
Your
far as
mic is muted.
clearing the salary or something. My mic muted?
You're still muted.
Nah, my mic not muted.
You're muted. I can't hear
Mm-mm.
you.
I don't know why you can't because I like
Oh, you know what?
your shit
We
probably
died.
died. I was just about to say like I was like your shit probably died. Cause like I know like it's coming in loud and clear over here. But no,
Where
like
is it?
it's
Oh, there we go.
Th
Oh, all right.
those little deals like that, those often come in because like I said, it's like some sort of salary move to get under one of the aprons or to set yourself up with an expiring contract for free agency for this coming off season. So
Yeah.
you got like there's reasons why you make little small moves and stuff like that because guys at the back end of your depth chart, they're not really going to get that much playing time to be that kind of a factor. So that's typically a move for a future something or a salary move or something like that.
And Yabusal is a good play. He's good for the Bulls. Jalen Terry really won't doing too much. He's gonna do the same thing on with the Knicks that he did on the Bulls. So, but Yabusal is a good pickup for the Bulls, though. Um, I mean, mm,
It's a move that like something's gonna happen, but we just gonna wait and see. But ma- tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm
listen,
saying
Shams ain't getting no sleep tonight.
what will or won't happen.
Shams is about to Shams
Now,
on 2 Red Bulls and a Prozac or something. Like he up.
hey, you know what? Real talk,
He can't wait for Thursday night to go to sleep. Thursday evening. Shit.
Sam's gonna pop him like an Adderall
Man.
and drink him a fucking Mountain Dew.
Nah.
He gonna put
Nah,
on a
Quan.
shot of caution.
Shams about to be up, bro. He on his phone. Like he might be on 2K tonight. Shit. Like
Look,
Shams is up.
I guarantee you, his phone is gonna stay on the charger and is never gonna be on Do Not Disturb.
Oh no, he can't. Not this. He if anything, not this week. Not
Yeah,
this week.
his phone probably hasn't been on Do Not Disturb since last week sometime.
Bro, him and Adam Schefter the last week, because but Schefter's has been a little slower with the coach stuff and trying to break all of that. So it won't.
Well, because I think with the NFL, you got more sources to put stuff out with, whereas with the NBA, is not that many trusted sources to put stuff out with.
Yeah,
So that's why like I
basketball
got
is
different
literally.
people. That's why I got like different people with football set up, and with the NBA, it's pretty much just like it's like two, maybe three. But with the NFL, it's like five, six.
Yeah, because with the NBA, it's really like Shams, and everybody waits to see Shams, and then from Shams, it's like a flood. But before that, nobody breaks anything before
This is
Shams breaks.
this is
It's
why
literally
this why I
Shams, and
sent
that's it.
y'all that link yesterday in the chat, and I was saying
Cause
watch
shit,
it
nigga,
before it starts.
ESPN don't even get that shit before Shams. Like if Shams ain't on set, it's literally Shams, then it's the NBA.
But this is why when Woj retired and took that GM job at St. Bonaventure, and ESPN backdoor like the next day or two and hired Shams away from Yahoo. This
Hmm.
is why I said that this is was the most because the next best trusted source for
Well, the
NBA
last couple
inside
years, I
info,
was about to
it
say,
wasn't Woj, it was Shams. It
yeah,
was one of
because
the two.
before Woj left, those last like 2 to 4 years, I want to say, it
Mhm.
really was Woj and Shams, like
It
kind
was
of back
just
and
them
forth.
two. It was
It really
just them two. It was
so
just them two. And those were the only two guys you could trust. So when ESPN lost Woj and they was able to
yeah,
poach Shams
exactly
from
what Quan
Yahoo,
said. Shams had got to a point he would had shit before Woj had it.
yeah, well, this was the thing. Shams wasn't even a thing until he started beating Woj on stuff. That's how
Uh huh.
Shams got his name because that's what he started doing.
Yep.
So
Because people,
that's why. And because honestly, it was like it was a Woj bomb or it was really nothing. And then when Shams started to like make his
yep.
headway, that's when it was like, oh, okay, cool. But the thing is like it takes people a while to get on board sometimes with certain people.
Yeah.
And this is why I say like you gotta watch where you get your stuff from. Because just because it has a large following or it's a verified account don't mean that the information is correct. Because a lot of the times these places get desperate and they'll make shit up or they'll word it in a certain way to where it sounds like it means one thing but it's really not. And it's like for example, if like let's just say the Clippers had talks about acquiring Giannis, right? Somebody could hear that and they could be like, "Oh, the Clippers are making an offer for Giannis. Trade targets include Clippers, blah blah blah." And it don't even be nothing. It could have just been something like the Clippers could have called the Bucks and been like, "Hey, what would it take?" And the Bucks have been like, "Nah, this we ain't, y'all ain't got shit we want." Oh, okay, bet. We just wanted to call and see what was up. It could be that. It could be nothing. But it's like you just really just gotta be careful with because people will do all kind of stuff to get clicks and views, especially like wording headlines a certain way to make you, think that it's something more than what it really is. Uh, we see that a lot in pro wrestling because it's always something that somebody's trying to sell you to get you to believe or whatever, but it happens in professional sports as well, like
I
a
be
lot.
forget. I always forget about Ian Rappaport. I don't know how I do.
Ian Rappaport, Mike Garofalo or whatever his name is,
Hmm.
there's like one or two other ones that are like really trusted, but like mostly um you have to make sure like where you get your info from is on point. And if you looking at like the beat writers for these teams that follow these teams around and are the local writers that follow these teams around from these cities and stuff like they know a lot because they're plugged into those teams and those organizations on a day-to-day basis. Um the national stuff don't always be as accurate because they're not as plugged in sometimes as some of these people can be.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not always good to solely rely on just national stuff, but you just got to be careful and vet your sources and whatnot. And that's something that huge I'm huge on because like there's so much misinformation out there and so many people get fooled by it. That's why I'd be like, nah, man, you got to watch out and be careful with where and who you get your information from because you'll go around thinking that you know something and repeating something and it's like bad info. So just be careful.
Um. Well, just to close out, because we didn't when we touched on NFL. Any coach hire. Let's wait till the last subject and we out. But Any coach hire that surprised you, or that was left field, or that you feel like was a perfect fit? Anything like that?
I'm gonna say honestly, the one that really surprised me wasn't really the hire. It was the Bills getting rid of McDermott, and that was the one that kind of caught me off guard. Them
Yeah,
promoting Joe Brady didn't really surprise me because he's been able to work with Josh
nah,
Allen really good. So that
yeah,
kind of it was more or less them getting rid of McDermott was more the thing that caught me off guard.
it did. And then Joe, like you said, Joe Brady. I knew they were gonna do their due diligence of like hiring or going through the hiring process, but I
Mhm,
knew Brady, that was his job. Unless he just told him he didn't want it, it was his.
mhm.
The one thing I was shocked about is that in this hiring cycle, we did not get one black coach. We are now down to three left. As far as head coaches. And
To be
the
honest with
Houston,
you, I'm not even really shocked about that.
nah.
Sadly
I
enough,
am, but I'm not. But then,
I
like I said, we're
yeah.
down to three. Three. Well, I ain't gonna say that because technically Salah is a minority coach. He may not look, but he is a minority
Mhm.
coach. So we made technically we did get one in a sense. I like Robert Salah to Tennessee. I like the staff that he's putting around him. The Dayball hire. I like Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers. Um, I'm interested in Sean Manning being our OC. I love what he did with Jordan Love, so I'm interested to see how he works with Jalen and with the offense. Harbaugh to the Giants. I like and hate. With that great for that young team to get a vet head coach like that. That's going to be interesting. Kubiak to the Raiders is probably the one. That's it, but it just depends on how he works with the ownership. Um, I think Al Davis had not Al Davis, I think Davis has something. I really like, and I told you before, I like the Raiders and that young team. Um, let's go get that quarterback now, and mm, um, yeah, everything else was like, I don't think any of those other guys, unless they really make an impact, are going to be in those positions for too long. Miami Cardinals, stuff like that. I think they just had to hire somebody. Um, because they didn't go out and get names. They kind of like, so those might be like temporary hires, and their head coach maybe
It's
next season or
it's
two
hard to
seasons from now. So
it's hard to tell because there's a lot of times where teams may decide to go with a younger up and coming head coach.
and sometimes they hire somebody. Um,
Sometimes they want to hire.
oh yeah. Mentor to the Ravens. I like that. I actually like mentor to the Ravens. I forgot all about that one. I don't know how I did.
Yeah,
And he's
like
putting his staff around him. So yeah.
the thing is the same thing with anything in life, and this is just to close it out to talk about this subject. But when you get hired for a job or something like that, the biggest thing in life is to know what you don't know and surround yourself with people who know what you don't know,
Yep. Yes, sir.
because that way you can accentuate your weaknesses and shore up your strengths, and you can have a solid organization around you. You can have a solid support system if it's just life in general.
Yep.
But it takes objectivity and it takes people knowing what they don't know and being willing to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, where am I falling short? Where are my strengths and what are my weaknesses?" And be honest with yourself about it. And then be like, "Okay, what do I need to do to help, accentuate my strengths and prolong those? But what do I need to do to shore up my weaknesses and turn those into strengths? And who do I need to surround myself with in order for me to make that transformation?" And if you
Mm-hmm.
can honestly look in the mirror and tell yourself that and fix things that you need to fix and look at yourself and be like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to prepare. This is what I need to do to get better. This is what I need to surround myself with. You'll be in a lot better position overall. So that's not just with sports. That's just a life lesson, and that's something that I've learned, the easy way and the hard way throughout life. It's like sometimes you just have to be real with yourself. And if you could be real with yourself, you'll get a lot further in life. Um, so Take that for what it is. This has been episode 107 of Sucio Sports. We'll holler at y'all next week.